All right. What's going on, everybody? I'll be live. Can you guys hear me? I'm having some technical difficulties on my end for some reason tonight, of course. I want to thank everybody that's here already for being here tonight. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and turn those notifications on so you guys never miss a show. And hit that like button if you enjoy the content. For those people that would like to help support the channel, I got the information at the bottom of the ticker there. And I want to thank everybody for being here today, the few people that are in the chat. What's up, Scott? How you doing tonight, my man? Good to see you. Who we got in the building? What's up, Brad? How you doing tonight, my brother? I dropped the link, too, if anybody wants to come on. I don't think Howie's going to be joining us today. I think he had some stuff to do. If he's available, he might pop on, he said, if he gets time. Otherwise, the floor is open if anybody wants to jump on the show and talk. We spoke a little bit yesterday about stuff that was going on in Iran. Gave our opinions on a few things and got a lot of feedback from people. So if anybody does want to grab the link and come on and hang out for a bit, you're more than welcome. I'll put the link in the chat. Danny Green, what's going on, man? Good to see you. All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. What's up, Becky? How you doing today? Good to see you. Dave, how you doing, my man? How are you? Hold on. Let me grab the link. I'll drop it again. I sent a few people notifications if they want to hop on or whatever. So feel free to join. I've been trying to keep my ear to the ground, so to speak, regarding all the stuff right now going on in Iran, regarding Israel and the United States military action over there. And hey, what's going on, Missy? How you doing tonight? And I got to be honest with you, I see a lot of crazy, ridiculous conspiracy theories coming out of the left. Unfortunately, they're trying to turn everything that's going on right now into some politically motivated fucking garbage that they usually do on here. And I found this video, and I find this to be rather bizarre, but I want to share this with everybody. If you guys haven't seen this, this is I don't know if this is from Al Jazeera. It's some Tehran. It's some professor from Iran. I want to hear what this guy's talking about right now, and I want to get into this a little bit because I find this to be rather ironic. So give this a listen real quick.
Faculty of World Studies, University of Tehran in Iran. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us at this moment. Let me ask you, after the elimination of the leader of your country and largely the entire the leadership which was close to him, his inner circle, what is the situation as the offensive and the counter-offensive between Israel, Iran, and United States continues?
There is this culture of resistance in Iran. When you push Iranians, they push back. I think Indians do the same. And the idea that Trump and Netanyahu had was they want to change Iran's government. This is not my analysis. This is what they said on the first day of their illegal attacks on Iran.
Can you guys hear the audio all right? Is there playback? Because I'm having audio issues. I just want to make sure if you guys can hear this all right. Let me know in the chat, please. And this is from Tehran. I think it's a Tehran news channel or something out of Iran. This is an Iranian professor saying this stuff. Listen to this.
And they are doing the reverse. They're creating this rally around the flag effect. We had millions and millions of people coming to the streets, large cities, small cities, mourning the passing away of the country's leader. Even some people who did not like some of the policies. They don't want their country to be attacked. They don't want schools to be attacked, hospitals to be attacked. They're implementing the Zahir doctrine in Iran. The Zahir doctrine is what they used in Gaza. They attacked every single school, every single hospital. We lost 165 little girls, small girls, when they.
All right, so this was originally, I guess, a claim made that they claimed that the U.S. struck an elementary school from girls aged 7 to 12, and they're trying to use that as some type of weapon to talk about the Zionist, invasion and terrorist acts that they're carrying out, trying to blame the United States for intentionally killing a group of small girls, children, which I find ironic coming out of the IRGC. But keep listening to this; it gets better.
They hit an elementary school. You're dealing with the Epstein class. They like to rape American little girls, and they like to bomb and kill Iranian little girls.
Unbelievable.
Let me ask you this, after
American little girls.
I want to play this again. Listen to this. I can't
small
believe
girls when they hit an elementary school. They're dealing with the Epstein class. They like to rape American little girls, and they like to bomb and kill Iranian little girls.
All right. I mean, can you guys honestly believe that this guy's on the news right now talking about this, saying that the American people are the Epstein class now, and that it's backed by Israel, basically saying that they're carrying out their will to do harm on the little girls, whether it's, sexually, or now they're committing acts of terrorism, trying to wipe them out and kill them. I mean, this is unbelievable. Now, the funniest thing to me, well, it's not funny at all, to be honest with you. It's actually quite bizarre. But in one aspect, you have a regime here that's trying to say that they're fighting the Epstein class, which obviously we know has been taken from the political party of the Dems and the left, who have opposed this war simply for the fact that they don't want to give Trump credit for anything that's going on over there, and they want to try to use it against him. But yeah, it is. It's complete scumbags. I mean, think about this: when the Ayatollah took over about 47 years ago in Iran, prior to the Ayatollah taking over, when the Shah was still in power there, they were actually allies of the United States and with Israel. They were actually helping them for a long time, especially when they started up OPEC, and they were one of the leading oil producers and one of our allies in that region, up until the Shah got overthrown by the Ayatollah that took over, the guy Khamenei that they just wound up killing in the bombings recently. And I find it strange because these are the people that are worried about women and children when they practice Sharia law out in this country, right? Now, in Sharia law, they believe that women, this is part of their written law in their government, is that women are only considered 50% equal to men. So first of all, they downgrade women in society as a whole. Second of all, the age to get married, legal age to get married, consent in Iran is 13 years old. 13 years old. That to me is what you would consider a pedophile in this country, somebody that engaged in sexual activity with a 13, 14, anybody in their early teens at that point. Now, this guy's coming on here as a professor, and he wants to cry about the Epstein class. Who's that, Scotty?
Yeah, hey guys.
How are you, brother? Yeah, so we got this. I don't know if you saw the clip I was just playing there, but we got these people over here crying about the Epstein class, wanting to talk about, hurting little girls and shit like that. Meanwhile, the age of consent to get married in Iran is 13 years old. And do you want to know what else is written into law based on their faith? That a girl is considered at full maturity after 9 lunar years or whatever. Basically, a 9-year-old girl, right? Now, you can marry somebody at the age of 9 as long as their family consents to it and a judge okays it, which basically it does because it's an agreement between two people's families. They're basically selling off their little kids to be sex slaves to some 70-year-old fucking creep in a village somewhere with some money, right?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Did you know about that?
No.
Yeah, so we got an Iranian professor on here talking about how he's outraged that the Epstein class is over here who wants to, rape American girls and hurt Iranian girls over there. Meanwhile, they marry off 9-year-old girls to 7-year-old men out there like it's no big deal. It's part of their religious faith. But yeah, exactly. But for some reason, we're the creeps over here and we're the problem. I mean, this is the type of stuff that you have to deal with when you're dealing with irrational fucking fundamental maniacs that you have out there running the country in Iran right now. I saw you made a comment too. I blame April. I think that it's you. I dropped the link in there if you want to come on. It's an open panel. Anybody wants to come on and discuss anything. I think you had a few things to say. So if you want to hop on, you're more than welcome. Yeah. Have you been paying too much attention to any of this stuff, Scott? Or?
Too much, bro.
What's that?
Too much. It's crazy. I mean, I think they're drawing us in. Hopefully this ends early.
But yeah, I think we're going to be a couple of weeks, if not a month or two, depending. Because at the end of the day, the Iranians aren't going to fucking give up until they absolutely have to. And even then, I don't know, how far they're willing to take things. It looks like I don't know if you guys saw this morning, but they got the son there trying to put him in power to replace his father. And as far as I remember, I don't believe the Ayatollah, the Khamenei guy that they took out, ever wanted his son to ever, take his lead if he had died or gotten killed, right? Now they put him up. Well, they just sent off a bomb this morning and blew him up. Now he's supposedly wounded and possibly in like pretty bad condition. They don't really know right now. Nothing's come out, but whoever's gonna try to become the figurehead over there is going to become an automatic target for Israel and the United States until they agree to whoever they want to take over power there. So you're not going to find too many people willing to step up and want to become the head of the regime over there because they're going to put a target on their back.
Unless they're deep in the ground somewhere.
Well, that's how they're operating right now. Everything that they're operating now basically is on, you know, Zoom calls and over the phone and shit like that because they're worried about meeting together because intelligence is going to come out and they're going to bomb wherever the fuck these people are at, you know?
Yeah, that's stupid, though. I mean, what son is not going to avenge his father?
Well, a guy that doesn't have a death wish, but supposedly the son they're saying is just as fucking radical and fundamental, if not crazy, than the father was.
Yeah, I saw somewhere they were saying that, yeah, it's not supposed to go to the son. It's supposed to be to other clerics. It's not supposed to really succeed or concede to the child.
Yeah. Hey, we got Don. Hey, how you doing, Don? Good to see you. Don said, hi, folks.
Hey,
Sorry
Don.
I can't join the chat. I'm deployed. I have limited access. God bless you all. Be well and be safe. Pray for our troops and those who serve, and especially those who are the silent soldiers, our families back home who allow us to do this difficult work. Stay strong, my friends, and be well. Hey, thank you, Don. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope all is well, and I hope everybody's safe out there, too.
Yeah. God and the angels be with
God
you.
bless the troops out there, absolutely. Well, this is something else that I find, you know, rather bizarre and strange too. You know, is that so one of the families of the and you know, it's not that I don't feel bad for anybody losing their lives that's involved in our military, obviously, but when you sign up for the military and you have a career in the military and you're overseas and you have to know what you signed up for, basically, right? You have the family of one of the fallen soldiers or whatever, you know, trying to make this a political thing and asking the president and the Republicans, you know, what are your answers for why my son died in this war, military action that's going on right now? And it's like, your son was in the military. I mean, I'm not trying to be, you know, cold-blooded here or cold-hearted, but at the end of the day, like, we're basically at war right now. Unfortunately, there's going to be casualties in war. And you know, at the end of the day, they didn't die in vain, you know? And I don't know if they're trying to do it for, you know, political reasons or financial reasons or what the motivation is behind that, but I don't understand that at all. That's like somebody being a police officer and their family complaining that they died in the line of duty, you know?
It comes with the territory. I agree. I definitely agree.
I don't understand that. It's very, very strange to me. They try to manipulate and tell you this holy war bullshit. What is it? If God's chosen people, that's a motherfucker. I want to. Well, that's part of the thing, though. April, is that at the end of the day, that's the way that they're seeing it out in Iran. Is that they're fighting a just holy war out there, and that's, you know. What's up, Carlos? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Hey, if anybody wants to hop on,
Carlito.
yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. Everybody's welcome, man. We're just hanging out tonight, bullshitting about stuff that's going on right now. So feel free to hop on as long as you're not trying to cause chaos. You're more than welcome to jump on here and come hang out with us tonight. What did they say? The mob associated, the Rothschilds. Well, I don't know about all that. I think there's a lot of anti-Semitism that's going on, and unfortunately, if you don't know the history in the region, in the Middle East especially. I mean, Israel and the Jewish people have been getting blamed for stuff out there for the last fucking 1,000 years, if not more, primarily the last couple of hundred at least. And the stuff in regards to Iran and Israel right now with the whole Epstein shit and stuff like that. I was watching, I want to say it was CNN or CBS. Have you seen any of this where they're trying to now claim that they believe President Trump is compromised by Israel with the Epstein file, so he has to do whatever Netanyahu says or they're going to fucking expose him? Have you heard that?
Haven't been up to speed with that. No.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's the latest. The latest is that the people on the left or whatever that are, you know, trying to you know, go against Trump in the military action right now back in Israel is that this is a distraction because of the Epstein files. Everybody knows that basically Trump is compromised and Netanyahu has control over him because otherwise he's going to expose him. So Trump has to go along with whatever, you know, military operations and shit that they have. Otherwise, he's going to throw him under the bus. Like, I mean, I can't believe that people honestly take this seriously and believe that that's even a possibility of happening. And I'll tell you, the one thing that they were trying to back this and support this on was an email that a convicted pedophile, Epstein, wrote to Ghislaine Maxwell back in 2011, right? So in 2011, they've been going through the Epstein files, and one of the file dumps had an email that was from Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, right? And in the email, Epstein writes to Ghislaine Maxwell, this is in 2011, a couple years after he had already been convicted of solicitation of prostitution for a minor, right? So he's already a convicted pedophile, a convicted child predator, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
He's writing an email to Ghislaine Maxwell saying, I don't understand why Trump's name isn't in any of his paperwork for any of the indictments and shit that he has going on legally, right? And he tells Ghislaine Maxwell, I don't understand why his name's not being mentioned in any of this because he spent hours at my house one time with one of the victims. Now, people are trying to take this and say, oh, look, this is an email proving that Epstein is saying Trump was involved with committing some type of sexual acts with the victim in this case, right? The name's obviously redacted, but we know who it is. It's that girl, Virginia Giuffre, that committed suicide, right?
Yes.
Now, this is the problem. The problem is that when you look at things from the wrong lens, every answer that you're looking for to find a solution is going to be wrong because you're looking at it wrong. They're looking at this from the point of Donald Trump is guilty. We're just trying to find evidence that proves it, right? The problem is that you're looking at it wrong. You're supposed to just be looking at the evidence and then drawing a conclusion from it, not already having the conclusion and then trying to find evidence for it. That's called confirmation bias. That's not how fucking things work. Now, if you look at it from what it really is, Epstein is basically telling Ghislaine Maxwell that I don't understand why Trump's name isn't showing up in any of my paperwork or why he's not being mentioned by any of this. He spent time with some of the people that are accusing him of committing these crimes against them, right? In this case, the Virginia Giuffre girl, right? Now, the way I look at it is he's basically telling Ghislaine Maxwell, I think that Trump is the one that's been reporting me to the fucking FBI, and he's the reason that I have all these cases and indictments over my head because he dropped a dime on me to the FBI, which he previously wrote and spoke about almost 10 years previously in the early 2000s, right?
Yes.
So that's where the problem is. And the way that these people are looking at it is just completely wrong. They're trying to look at this like this is a sign of guilt, when in reality, it's basically Epstein admitting that fucking he thinks that Trump's the person that gave him up, that told the FBI about all the shit he was doing with these kids.
That's how I perceive it.
Yeah.
That's how innocent people go to fucking jail. And investigating negative, already having a guilty person who's not guilty, trying to make them guilty.
Well, yeah, and if you go through and you look at the dumps of the emails from the Epstein files, you'll see correspondence back and forth where he's literally talking to people like that book writer and journalist that hacked Mike Wolf or whatever, and they're trying to frame this entire thing in the media where he's giving him advice on how to frame it and shit to put out there about Trump to try to make him look bad, so that way he wouldn't be helping the FBI, even if he was possibly going to become president down the line. Why wouldn't the guy? Now you would think, right, if the guy was involved with Epstein, right, and he had dirt on him, wouldn't you think that Trump would have tried to help him not get indicted, or to try to cover it up so he wouldn't even be in a position where he could possibly cooperate with the authorities? Wouldn't that make a lot more sense to people?
That is logical.
That would make sense to me.
There's a lot of psychological operations going on. And you know how it goes. Like on the stand, the lawyer will say something, the judge will overrule it, but it's already in the jurors' heads. It's a lot of psychological operations being conducted out there now. It's crazy.
I don't know to what extent you mean in regards to psychological operations, but you mean just like planting shit in the media for people to think a certain way, you mean?
Yes. Yeah, swaying people by,
Oh, yeah. That's why if you noticed, during when Biden ran against Trump and won the election the last go around, you'll notice that what did they have in their pockets as all of their big donors and everything that they had over there. They had fucking the social media conglomerates, Instagram, fucking Twitter, Facebook, and all that. Why? Because they control the media. They control social media. That's where most people get their news and information from, right?
Yes.
They were censoring stuff on there. You couldn't talk about the election. You couldn't talk about COVID that was going on at the time. They were blocking stories about, Hunter Biden and all that. Well, why do you think that they want to control these social media corporations and companies? Because they want to be able to control the narrative and the information that goes out to the public. And that's exactly what they're doing right now, where they're trying to frame the shit that's going on with Israel and the United States and Iran right now. And I think people really, there's a great, if you guys want to look, if you guys are interested in this, go onto YouTube. There's a 60 minutes documentary that they just put out, and it's called the 50 Years of Iran, and it gives you a whole breakdown over the last 47 or 50 years since it actually starts when the Shah was still in power, before they overthrew him and the Ayatollah took over control there with the IRGC that's in power right now. If you go and you watch it, it's like a 2 or 3 hour documentary, and it goes back from 60 minutes all the way back from like the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, and gives you a total breakdown of everything that's going on right now in Iran currently till today. And I think if people want to really get in tune to actually what's actually going on, not the spin and propaganda that you're getting from, YouTube and social media and other platforms and the news and shit like that, it's really enlightening and eye-opening. I just got done watching it late last night. That's the reason why I wanted to do the show today, to talk about some of this stuff, because a lot of the information and everything that's coming out about what's really going on right now is heavily skewed, and a lot of propaganda in the works right now, especially with the anti-Semitism and shit towards Israel. I mean, April was in here. I think you made a comment. You were wondering why nobody's blaming Israel for anything that's going on right now. Well, I don't know if you saw the message from about 2 days ago with the Iranian president, but he went out and gave a public apology to the 12 surrounding countries in the Middle East that they went and bombed. They went and blew up multiple commercial technology companies. I think 2 of them they tried to hit is the technical company that runs Amazon, that does all their software and tech stuff for a lot of the banking and shit like that. They sent bombs over there and missiles. Then they obviously were sending bombs to our military bases that are positioned throughout the Middle East and various countries. And he went out and he apologized, and he turned it around and he says that the only people that Israel or anybody in the Middle East or the world has to blame are the people in the United States, because if they didn't come in and take military action against us, we wouldn't have went and bombed all these neighboring countries that have U.S. military bases. They're trying to say basically the only reason why we went and bombed all of your countries, trying to drag them into this and then blame us for it, is because out of his own mouth, he says, everyone knows that we don't have missiles that can reach the continental United States. So our missiles can only go a certain amount of distance. So we're only able to bomb neighboring countries, basically. So in essence, what the president of Iran is saying is that if we did have intercontinental ballistic missiles, or missiles that had the capability of reaching the mainland in the United States, we would be using them right now. But since we don't, we're just going to bomb all the neighboring countries that our missiles can reach. And it's not our fault. It's the United States' fault, and it's Israel's fault right now. No, it's Iran's fault right now, because these guys have been trying to build up a nuclear program that goes directly against our agreements with the fact that they're not supposed to have nuclear, military-grade nuclear energy or weapons at all whatsoever. And somebody sent me a video earlier. It's from a guy's channel called, I think the name of it's called Secular Talk, I want to say is the name of it. And the guy's got like 3 million subscribers or something like that. And there was another guy, I forget the guy's name. I'll have to pull it up in a second and try to find it. But basically, he opens up the video, and these guys are saying that, and this is something that's going around on Facebook and social media. So if you guys see this, just know that it's bullshit. These guys are claiming that the day before the U.S. took military action and started dropping bombs in Iran, that the IRGC and the Iranian government agreed to let the United States in and the nuclear atomic energy people to go in there and do an investigation into their facilities and nuclear enrichment facilities and stuff like that. That's a bold-faced lie. They were defiant up until the day that we went in there and dropped those missiles. If you guys recall, you'll go back in the news and you'll see there was a lead up to this, right? You guys remember what was it, like 8 months ago now, something like that, where we bombed those nuclear sites? So we go in. The reason why we bomb their nuclear sites is because we have meters and stuff that do testing, right? And we found out, and by their own admission, the Iranian government admitted this less than a couple of weeks ago, is that they had uranium that was enriched to over 60%, and they said that they would be able to have uranium enriched up to 90% within the next, I think, 10 days, they said. And they basically admitted that they'd be able to have enough enriched uranium to have 10 or 11 nuclear missiles, right? So they're basically telling our U.S. envoys and our people to go tell the U.S. government, yeah, we know that your battleships and carriers and everything are in the waters right off of the coast over here. We know you guys have been warning us to let our people in to go and check and do all this stuff. And they held defiant in their thing, and they're basically threatening them, saying, yeah, you blew up our nuclear facilities 8 or 10 months ago, but we were still able to leave with, I think they had 400 or 500 pounds or kilograms of 60% enriched uranium that they were able to get out of there. And they're taunting our U.S. envoys, telling them basically like, yeah, we still have this, and we're still working on the capability to enrich the uranium even more. And very soon, within the next week, possibly 2 weeks, we'll have enough in order to get 11 nuclear weapons. And now, what do you think that the Iranian people are going to do with the fucking nuclear weapons if they get their hands on them? They've already admitted out in the open that if they did, they'd be sending them to the U.S. right now, right? The guy just said it 2 days ago.
Yeah, they're going to put them in suitcases or small devices and retaliate.
Yeah, and they're going to have no problem doing that.
No.
Sorry, I just got a message from Saudi. All right, buddy. Yeah, that sounds good. If you got time, just swing through if you want to stop on. Anytime, brother. Sorry, I was a friend of the show.
Great.
Let me see what they say here. Donald Trump could cure cancer and people protest it. Yeah, well, that's one of the bigger problems, Danny Green. I got to agree with you, 100%. I mean, they don't want to give this guy credit for anything that he does, unfortunately, and it's a shame if you ask me, because what he's doing right now should have been something that was done probably 30 years ago, and we wouldn't even have to be dealing with this right now. And a lot of this comes from the people that have such a problem with the stuff that's going on right now. If Obama never signed that nuclear fucking deal with Iran in the first place during his presidency, we wouldn't even have to deal with any of that right now. If you guys remember, I think it was 2000 and what year was that? 2009, I want to say.
Yeah.
Let me look that up real quick, actually, because I don't know the exact date of that. But if you remember, Obama signed that nuclear deal with Iran, and they were the ones that basically gave them the ability to start stockpiling uranium. And to even get to the point that they're at right now. I forget exactly what year that was. Maybe if somebody in the comments knows. I think it was like either the late 2009s or early 2010s that they gave them that they wrote that agreement out with the nuclear arms deal there and started giving them the right to to enrich uranium and shit like that, which they claim was supposed to be done for civilian purposes, for them to provide energy and stuff like that to their country, which is complete nonsense, because why would you need to build nuclear facilities deep within the mountains, hundreds of meters, if not a mile down into, or I don't know exactly how deep they go, but why would you need that if you're doing civilian, research for nuclear energy and stuff like that? The bottom line is that these guys were trying to enrich uranium to build nuclear weapons. That's the bottom line.
They still have blackouts over there or loss of electricity. Do you think over 10 years they would have corrected that if they weren't diverting the power or the juice, the nuclear material?
Where are you talking about, specifically in Iran?
Yeah, Iran. I believe they go without electricity. They have like blackouts or power outages. I thought I saw somewhere.
Stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know too much about that. I got to look into that, to be honest with you. I know that they have I know one of the serious problems that they have out there. What's up, Sean? How you doing, brother? I know one of the serious problems that they have out there is a water problem right now, because obviously they're right off of the sea there, and they don't have access to fresh water, so they rely heavily on those desalination plants.
Yeah.
And basically what I believe that they threatened to do, or what they tried to do in the past, basically, is to try to blow up and go after those desalination plants. Because if you can cut off and stop those water plants, basically the people in those surrounding countries and areas and shit won't have fresh water in about 2 weeks' time. And they're probably going to try to do that. I mean, if they're in fear that their regime is going to completely collapse, I can see that easily happening, that those guys would get desperate and try to take it out on their own people by doing shit like that. So
blame us.
I heard about that, Sean. That's something else that they're doing right now too, is that they knocked out all the internet because they don't want people to have access to the internet so they can find out what's going on right now. Yeah, so only people on the internet can talk.
They have Starlinks though, and that's killing them.
Well, not the people there though, the local people, the civilian population though. They're trying to stop them from being informed about what's going on in the country right now, so they can control everything, And they had. I know. Recently, I think Sean, you know a lot about this. If you want to jump on, brother, you're more than welcome, bro. I'll drop the link in the chat, man. Anybody wants to hop on and bullshit, feel free. We're just hanging out. I know they had a huge problem Oh, is it $500 a month for the Starlink? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. That works anywhere though, right? That's the Elon Musk, the satellite internet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that works. That works really good. Yeah, that was a great piece of technology that he came up with there. But yeah, I know they have a huge problem with water shortages. I think a couple months back there was an issue too, right? Where I think they said that Tehran was almost was going to be in a state of collapse because they had no access to fresh water. So what they could realistically do is if they went in there and they blew up those fucking desalination plants, they could fucking force the whole country. Basically, I mean, realistically, they'd fucking kill them. You know,
The
without
one
water,
thing
you can't go
I
long.
have fear of, they'll shoot a missile off, and then we'll go fire. We'll go blast where that missile went off. But they're setting us up because they'll shoot the missile off from where that girls' school is, and then we'll go and bomb where the missile went out of, and we're creating enemies. That's the one thing I hope we don't do. We don't repeat making more enemies out of the civilian population.
What up, Sean?
What's up, Colin?
What's going
Hey,
on?
buddy.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, brother. What's good?
Oh shit, man. Yeah, no, I just hear from my girl, and she says like I think when she said like 91 or 92 they came over here, but like what she says is like you can't even go outside without all with the whole head thing on outside.
You have the hijab. You can't even show your hair.
Yeah, and like say you go on Instagram, like you're a musician, you go on Instagram and you say something against the government, you go to prison for like 5-6 years.
Oh, it's 10 years.
Oh, okay, yeah. She was just like showing me like different musicians that have been in prison. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
but they don't say that on the news. Like.
No, well, I don't know if you caught the start of the show. I was playing a clip. There was an Iranian professor when I started the show off, and these guys are taking the talking points from the left right now, where they're claiming that this whole war is from the Epstein class of the Americans that like to R-word little girls and shit like that. And I'm sitting over here. I was playing it for everybody because I wanted to put it into perspective that this is coming from the same government over there that the Ayatollah that practices Sharia law, where they allow 9-year-old girls to get married off to 7-year-old men. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She said, yeah.
On what planet do you guys have any right to talk about the atrocities that you do to little girls and little women coming from a country that sells off 9-year-old girls to 7-year-old men for marriages and shit like that? Like, are you serious right now?
And they try to normalize it too. Like, yeah.
Yeah, they try to use their holy book to justify that. Oh, in the book, Allah says that a girl who passes 9 lunar years, which is 9 years old, is at full maturity. That's what they justify it off of. Is a holy book.
That's crazy. It's like
It's crazy.
It's crazy and it's sickening at the same time. And you got these people like trying to defend it at the same time. It's like, wow.
It just goes to show you how fucked up the world and people actually are, man. That they'll overlook something that serious because they have some political fucking hate or disdain for one person.
All it is. It's all it is.
Hey, really, from
what?
If you're asking, Sean, is your girlfriend? You said right? She's Persian.
Yeah.
Is she Jewish Persian or?
Yeah, her mom is. Yeah, her mom's Jewish and her dad's a Christian.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I was gonna say a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of the population that actually lives in the United States. A good chunk of them, especially out in California, I know in New York, is Persian, which are Jewish Iranian Jews, which are the people from out there,
Yeah. They like I said last week. She hated Trump. She just despised him, and now she's like, yeah, they need to finish the job. Keep on killing all these guys that just come to power. Kill them all. They need to wipe out the whole regime.
Yeah, and from the sounds of it, it looks like they're not going to take no for an answer until they're fucking gone. I don't know if you saw this morning, but the IRGC or whatever, the Ayatollah's the guy that killed Khamenei there, his son, they said they elected him to be the power. Well, they went and blew up a fucking building that he was in. He's critically wounded right now, supposedly. So,
oh, good.
Yeah, they just did that to him this morning. So that's going to deter anybody from really trying to step forward to grab the reins over there. So It might take a while for them to do this, but the problem is that these guys have a 1,000,000-man army, right? And until you can control the IRGC army and the militia groups and the police, like locally, this is the problem, right? That the only reason that we really went in there finally and took military action is because remember the protests about a month or so ago? Look at what the government did. They killed what 30, 40,000 innocent civilians and people.
Hey, that's what they know. They said there's so many people missing on top of that.
That's only what they know of on paper. So there's probably more.
Oh, way more. Yeah, way more.
Okay.
They were just shooting people like randomly in the crowd, just going up and just blasting them in the head.
Yeah. So look at that. We got 35,000 innocent civilians that were out there just protesting, hoping to get rid of this tyrannical government that's been, persecuting them for the last, 40, 50 years now, right? What message does that send to everybody else? If they're willing to go and kill their own people, what do you think that they would do to anybody else if they got their hands on nuclear weapons for anybody that's against them out there, whether you're in the Middle East or abroad?
They hate Western civilization. They hate white people. They hate Jewish people. They hate anybody that's not like them.
They want world domination of Islam.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and look what they're doing to Europe. They're pushing that shit on Europe to the point where it's like Europe in 20 years, not even 20 years, but it's not going to be the same. It's already not the same. And in America, I mean, if they got their way, it would be just like the way the trajectory was going, 5 years and 10 years ago.
Yeah, they need to, and I agree with Howard here. If Trump pulls this off, it'll be the most military event since the end of World War II, and I agree with that. And I don't think people understand how much the Iranian people themselves want this. They just don't know what to do. What do you do when every time you want to go out there and protest or fight against the government, they kill you and your whole bloodline, basically? It's such a deterrent to deter people from ever even wanting to do anything against these people because the oppression that they faced for the last 50 years with these people in power.
Well, I remember her saying like 8 months ago, like when they were saying to evacuate, but they cut off all the gas, there was gas shortages, so like they couldn't go to Turkey, they couldn't go to anywhere else. Since they cut off all the like there was roadblocks and stuff, so it's like they were stuck there.
Wow. See, and that's the crazy thing too. These people, the people on the left right now that are arguing, they're going in there and they're saying, oh, it's wrong that we went in there and took military action on Iran. Iran hasn't invaded or started a war in the last, I think they said like 200 or 250 years, which first of all, that's bullshit anyways, right? Now, do people not realize or understand that Iran is literally the #1 state sponsor of terrorism? They control
Hezbollah.
Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis, right? These guys just went into Israel 3 years ago, not even 2-3 years ago. Remember they flew into that festival they had? They like paratrooped in there and murdered 1,500 innocent people. That was all sponsored Hezbollah. Who backs all those guys and pays for all their military actions all over the Middle East? Fucking Iran.
Yeah,
they've openly admitted it, right? So when they sit here and they say that Israel are these Zionist, tyrannical, psychopathic people, at the end of the day, unfortunately, they're our only strategic partners in the Middle East. They're the only ones that have a democracy. They're the only ones that share the same ideology as we do out here in the West, right? And they're the only ones that have been a strategic partner of ours for the last almost 100 years now since its establishment out there. So what do you expect us to do? We have to support them in whatever they got going on, and they're in harm's way. Look at what happened when the war started. They got bombs and missiles getting. Have you seen the missiles that they have? Those hypersonic fucking Fatah missiles that they've been using.
Yeah.
These things. I wonder if I could get a video real quick. You got to see these things. This is some of the craziest fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. They blew up a synagogue or something like that. And right outside of Tel Aviv, one of these videos I was watching, man, it was fucking. I couldn't even imagine having to live out there, being in the thick of this shit with the stuff that's going on right now. They must be terrified, man.
Hey, what country did Obama give $1.7 billion cash to?
Iran.
That was there.
Yeah. This is the most fucked up thing, Sean, right? Is that we have this problem with Israel's Netanyahu since the 90s when he was first in power over there in Israel, was talking about how their biggest fear was that Iran was going to get nuclear capabilities and nuclear weapons, right? So we had these deterrents, we had these sanctions, we had all this stuff. Netanyahu gets out of power. He winds up resuming power in the mid-2000s, late mid-2000s, gets back in. Obama winds up getting into office. Netanyahu's asking Obama to basically like, hey, listen, we need to do something. We got a serious problem with Iran. You know what I mean? They're one of the biggest state sponsors of terrorism out there. They've been carrying out all these acts through all these militia groups all over the Middle East for forever. They fucking hate us. They chant death to America. Like, we need your help to come in here to do something. Now, on paper, Israel's not supposed to have nuclear weapons, right? Their whole philosophy and motto is that Israel isn't a nuclear state. We don't have nuclear weapons, but if we feel as though we need to defend ourselves, we will use them. So that's basically saying, in essence, that they have them, or that they're going to have the United States use them if need be to help deter anybody from, because these guys want to wipe them off the face of the planet. They've said that, right? So what do you do with the country that has one of the biggest oil reserves in the entire world in Iran, with the amount of money that they generate and the amount of money that they make? They're going around avoiding all the sanctions that were levied against them by using cryptocurrency, because all that stuff is off the record. It's not funneled through any of the bank or financial institutions that are on the global market, so they're hard to trace. So these guys go and they built these, the drones that they're using to go bomb everywhere?
Yeah.
What they do is that they can't buy any military grade GPS systems that are used in like missiles and stuff like that because of the sanctions that they have. It'll get triggered, and then it'll get notified, and they won't get them, right? So what they do is they go and they buy iPhone circuit boards and shit like that use in smartphones, because they have the GPS and all the information right on, and the technology right on the motherboard or whatever, the electric circuit board on the phones. So they use those to do their GPS coordinates for these drones that they make. Then the gas tanks that they use to power the drones, they get from mopeds and little like scooters and shit like that they modify in their facilities in Iran to make the drones. And then the hulls of the drones and everything they use is like stuff for like boating supplies. So they skirt around all the sanctions to go and make these things for like 30, 40, 50 grand, whatever they cost. And they make fucking thousands of these things to go out there. And what are they going to do with them? They're going to fucking bomb exactly what they're doing right now. Every country that's around them, trying to drag everybody into World War III right now, and then turn around and blame the United States for it, for helping Israel. Well, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Yeah, and them going after whatchamacallit, Dubai and all that stuff, like you just said.
Yeah, they went and they tried to blow up the fucking airport. The main airport in Dubai over there. You know what I mean?
But they're not terrorists, though. They're not terrorists.
Well, that was the craziest thing that I've ever heard, is that these guys act, oh, we're peaceful people, we don't want to have any problems. The president came on 2 days ago and made a public apology saying, oh, we're sorry that we bombed all 12 of these countries, but we don't have ballistic missiles that can reach the U.S., so our only choice was to blow up the places that we can blow up. You know what I mean? So we turn around and we say, well, okay, to the people that are questioning why we're in there carrying on military action, well, what do you think these people would do if they had a nuclear fucking weapon that could reach the U.S.? They'd be fucking shooting it off, blowing us up.
Yeah. I'm sure China and Russia are funding this too, pretty much.
Well, actually, what's happening right now is China's kind of freaking out, because a lot of the military defense systems and stuff that Iran has right now in their country that's supposed to be protecting themselves from strikes and shit like that is all failing. We're bypassing all of it. They're not stopping anything that we're doing right now. It's like a 95% failure rate. So they're freaking out right now, wondering why all their defense systems and military shit is all failing out there. They're basically watching their shit crumble right before their eyes. And they got the same stuff in their country, so they got to be in the back of their heads thinking, like, we got a serious problem here. If we're supplying these guys military equipment and stuff, and it's failing with what the U.S. is doing right now, and you know that we're not using all of our best shit and stuff that we have over there right now. This is just like a little taste. You know what I mean? If they really wanted to get, crazier and level that place, they could do it in probably an hour, realistically. I don't even think the war would last a couple of days.
Do you think it's gonna last? What do you say? 3-4 weeks?
Long.
Would you say it's going to last 3-4 weeks? I think it's going to last longer than that.
The projection that I heard from the stuff I was watching this morning and late last night was they said 20 to 40 days, hopefully, like a window. The problem is right now is that I guess that what they're finding out is that these fucking Iranians have made all these underground missile silos in like their deserts and shit like that. So all the the U.S. is basically saying that they've decimated over half of the missile launchers and capabilities for attacks from coming out of Iran. But they're going and they're shooting these missiles out of the fucking desert that's covered by beds of sand. So these aren't like mobile missile launchers or anything we're used to. They have like underground silos and they're fucking everywhere supposedly.
They've been planning for this for
Yeah, they've been
30
planning this shit for decades, man.
Look what Hamas did. Yeah, in the Middle East, in Gaza, and in the West Bank. Well, not the West Bank, but Gaza. All those tunnels. Iran has crazy tunnels too, with storage.
So Jane said Netanyahu's been claiming Iran is 2 weeks away from getting nuked since the 90s. The war is being fought for a greater Israel project. 80-85% of the USA is against. Well, 80 to 85% against the war. I don't believe that number whatsoever. I would say it's maybe like 50-50 if you want to be honest, more honest about it. I don't think it's 80-85% whatsoever. I don't even think that's close. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I don't believe that for a second.
That's like an MSNBC talking point.
Yeah,
that's all that.
Yeah, that sounds like something straight out of fucking CNN. I can guarantee you that it's more like 60-40 in favor for what's going on in Iran right now. If somebody could honestly tell me that people are against us going in and carrying out these military strikes in Iran, have no idea what's actually going on in Iran right now. Yeah, Netanyahu has been claiming that Iran's been away from nuclear capability since the 90s. That is correct. But what has deterred them and stopped them from getting to that point was all the shit that we've been doing militarily to deter these people from getting to the point where they actually have these weapons. I mean, you have to go back and look at all the shit that's occurred over there. Every time Netanyahu comes out and speaks and addresses the world or the UN or anybody else out in the Middle East about what's going on, is that the bottom line is that the Iranians came out and told our U.S. envoys a day before we went in and took military action that the bombing that we did 8 or 10 months ago at the nuclear sites, they were still able to smuggle out between 400 and 500 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium. This is the IRGCs and top commanders in Iran telling our U.S. envoy, basically boasting the fact that they still have uranium. It's 60% enriched, and in order for them to get it to the 87% they need for it to be military grade to be used in nuclear weapons, could have been done in less than a week or 2 weeks tops period of time. Now, this is them telling our U.S. envoys to relay to our president, knowing that we had just sent our battleships and carrier groups out into the fucking Middle East and have been repositioning our troops and shit like that all along the fucking border in Iran at all of our bases. And they know this because Russia's been providing them intel on our movements and shit like that from their satellites and everything that they do. So I don't understand what the point of making a claim that, yeah, Netanyahu's been saying it for 2 weeks. Well, Netanyahu's tried getting the last 3 presidents to go in and take military action against Iran. And look at what fucking Obama wound up doing when he was in power when Netanyahu asked him that. He goes and signs a fucking nuclear deal with Iran that's let them get to the point where they're at today that led us to carry out military strikes on these people. Look at the shit that they're saying.
Remember when Netanyahu went to the White House when Obama was there? He didn't even go there and shake his hand. He didn't even go there and talk to him. He went to Washington. He went to Washington D.C. to go talk to do something, and
yeah, Congress and shit. I think, right?
Yeah, Congress. Yeah, and he just totally bypassed Obama. He didn't even go and talk to him.
He knows his position.
Well, that's the other thing. Everybody's claiming right now that the U.S. is owned and controlled by AIPAC right now, right? Which is like the Israel project that they're talking about with all the money that comes in to fund, who they want in for elections and shit like that. This to me is something that I've seen so many times over the last 20 years or whatever, and it all has to go back to this like anti-Semitic view or whatever, with people that have this severe disdain for Israel and the Jewish people for some reason. And this shit's been going on for 1,000 years, if not more, especially out there in the Middle East. But these people have got it into the propaganda in American media and in the Middle East especially, where they blame Israel for everything that goes on in the fucking Middle East. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think Israel has done some shit that's crossed the line, especially like the stuff in Gaza or like the whole Palestinian conflict and shit like that. Like I understand that that's been going on for what 50 years now, however long it's been.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're completely innocent, but you have to look at where they're at. They're in the Middle East right now, basically living amongst the fucking enemy. They're the only diplomatic state that's out there with a democracy that has the same, religious worldviews and ideologies that we have out here in the West, in a place that wants to send people back to the fucking Stone Age, where women have no rights, where men do and say whatever the fuck they want, and they want to control everything and how everybody thinks and acts and lives out there. I mean, Iran has said out of their own mouth for the last 40 or 50 years. You can go and watch it. There's videos from 60 minutes of interviews with the Shah, even before the Ayatollah, the regime that took over power right now, the Shah that they took out, that they said was oppressing the Iranian people and stole from them, that they chased away and tried. Remember they held the embassy prisoners back in the late 70s?
Yeah.
They held everybody for a
plus.
fucking year as ransom. And their demand, what was their demand? Their demand to Carter with the president was that you need to return the Shah back to Iran so he can face prosecution. Otherwise, we're going to hold all the American people working at the embassy hostage because they claimed it was a spy warehouse, basically, that they were using it specifically for purposes of spying on the Iranian people in the country and shit like that. And they had, quote unquote, their students who uncovered and foiled the plot to take over the embassy to hold these people hostage for a year. Because they wanted us to kidnap the Shah who was exiled and brought over here for medical treatment, and to send him back to Iran so he could get hung and killed basically by these people so they can get a victory dance. And what was it for? Because they wanted him to relinquish whatever monies and power that they claim that he stole from the Iranian people while he was in power for the fucking 30 years that he was there.
Well, I'm reading this comment from Jane Creek that the Iranians they're for this. They're for they're for this regime change. They're all for it. So I don't know the alleged conversation you with your own ears. I don't know what you listen to, but
well, look at this comment right here. You can tell what she listens to. Look what she just said.
I mean, I watch all news. I watch MSN, CNN, everybody.
That's the funniest thing is that when somebody makes a comment, I can literally tell with one comment that they make what political fucking side that they're on and what news channels and shit they watch by one comment when you see stuff like this. It's so fucking obvious. Because I watch all of it. I don't just watch, the right or Fox News or fucking whatever. I watch Al Jazeera. I watch the Times of India. I watch CNN. I want to know what everybody's saying on both sides so I can draw my own conclusion as to what's going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These people, what they do is they have, and I was talking about it before, how they have, they have this lens that they look through, and they're already starting off with a fucked up lens. So then they're only looking for information that supports their belief of something that's true. It's confirmation bias, right? Where you already know the answer, even if you're wrong, but then you'll go out and try to find things that support it, and you'll disregard the 1,000 things that tell you that you're completely wrong, right?
Yeah.
And that's literally what these people do, and it's incredible to me. I was just talking about AIPAC a couple minutes ago. Yeah, AIPAC, just like all the other lobbyists and groups like that, have people that they support in office and to push their agendas and political agendas and stuff like that. $100 million a year is really nothing when people run $1 billion up on their campaign. I mean, that's only 10%. So what about the other 90% of the money that comes in for this shit? They only have so much power and so much leverage. You can't tell me that you can just buy elections in office. I think I even know the clip that she's talking about. There's something going on YouTube that popped up in my feed, and they were talking about how it was from CNN actually, and it was from one of these channels that's claiming that it was in the same clip that's claiming that Netanyahu and Israel have the goods on Donald Trump, so they're blackmailing him right now. So he's going out to carry out all of their warmongering and shit over in the fucking Middle East right now because they got blackmail on him basically from the Epstein stuff, right? So then they were saying that if you go and you look at all the money that Apex funded into campaigns over the last 30 years, whatever it's been, that all the people that these guys have supported have won their election cycles or whatever and got into office. Well, if that's true, you're going to tell me that they supported Biden during his. How come Biden won the election last election cycle then? I can tell you right now that they weren't supporting them over Donald Trump. If Donald Trump was being blackmailed and Israel had something over him, AIPAC, which is for Israel's lobbying group, right? Why wouldn't they have supported to make sure that he won then? How come he lost last election then? That would kind of go against the comment that you're making right here on the screen, right?
That whole Epstein shit, Biden could have released those files. Why didn't he release those files?
Oh well, they'll argue that the cases were still in courts or whatever, and they couldn't do it. So there's always a fucking there's always some bullshit.
They want to pull out their narrative. It's disgusting. God saved Trump 3 times for a purpose. I just listened to Trump, his news conference. Russia's a friend. China's a friend. These career politicians, if they were in, it would be a whole different story. Population control is difficult, especially in the Middle East. The ecosystem of the Middle East is difficult. So Qatar, Saudis, they have to control their population without offending them and still do the right thing. We wouldn't be there. This wouldn't be going on if they were all against us.
Yeah.
They're not. Like, Sean was just saying a little while ago, at the end of the day, you saw the protest. The Iranian people came out. When they heard Khamenei got killed, they thought they had a new day. They were out there celebrating. The women came out without their hijabs on. They were showing their hair, which would get them, killed or put in prison for 10 years, if not beaten to death in front of everybody. I mean, they were celebrating. They want this shit.
Yeah,
So
5 soccer players.
Fucking, we're carrying out the will of Israel is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. And
All over the world.
And Thor Blades is making a perfect point here. Before the Ayatollah Khamenei and the IRGC took over 47 years ago, when the Shah that they exiled out of power was still running Iran, they were a westernized country. They had girls going to school, getting educations. They were moving forward to having a more of a democracy and open society than they do have now. As soon as the Ayatollahs exiled them out of there and took over power, they went back and started implementing all the fucking Sharia law and all that other crazy shit that they have right now, where they can marry off a 9-year-old girl to a 7-year-old man, and it's okay because the good book tells them that.
And have 4 wives and
yeah, you can't even get divorced. You can't even get divorced from a man out there. If a husband wants to take a wife's passport, she can never leave. She's basically a prisoner for the rest of her life once you marry somebody out there. You have literally no fucking rights. And they claim that part of their laws allows a wife, if they can, file and prove, hardships or whatever, that they'll give somebody a divorce. Good fucking luck. Let me know somebody that got one. Because I can tell you right now, it probably never happened.
No.
Ever.
No. For sure. No.
Everybody, I'm telling you, let me try to find the link. I'm gonna tell you. You guys should watch this. It's called 50-year history of Iran. It's on 60 Minutes. I just watched it last night. It's about a 3-hour documentary. Let me put the link in the chat. If you guys want to watch something, please check this out, because this gives you a breakdown and shows you exactly what's really going on right now in that country. And it's unfiltered, and it's not skewed or anything like that. It's not propaganda. This is all interviews that were done with the Shah, with the Ayatollah, everything for the last 50 years, documented by reporters and journalists. All right, so you can go back and watch this. This is just them playing their own words coming out of the same government. Here, check this out.
Unbiased.
Unbiased, unfettered. Documentary about 3 hours long. If you got time, if you want to skim through it, you want to check it out, watch that. That's all I gotta say. You'll be able to figure it all out right then and there. And it goes to show you, even before the regime that's in power right now, the IRGC and the Ayatollah and them, the Shah that was in power before them, you can tell in the first 10 minutes of the thing of the interview that he did in the late 60s, early 70s, he's in there talking about Israel and the Zionists and the Jews. You can tell he hates them. This was fucking before these guys were even in power. This has been going on for 1,000 years out there, at least.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't anything new. What is Jane? In Iranian history, didn't begin in 79. It had democratic that was overthrown in 53. But yeah, that's what the Ayatollahs and the Iranian the IRGC party claims is that the CIA helped put the Shah into power, and they helped create that Samjiv. It's basically their version of the CIA out there in Iran that was persecuting and carrying out, terrorism and extortions and murders and torture and shit like that of people, and that the CIA helped them create that whole government and stuff that was over there, and that the Shah that was in power was a puppet of the CIA. That's what you're getting this information from the fucking Ayatollah and the Iranian government that was telling you this after they took over power and exiled the guy and wanted to kill him. Like, are you serious right now, Jane? You can't be serious right now.
Oh,
I know.
Rachel Maddow.
I know. I mean, this is like, I literally know about all this. Everybody, I'm telling you, go. I just dropped the link. I just dropped the link to the fucking 60-minute shit. It's 3 hours long, 50-year history of Iran. Please, if you guys have time, just go and watch that. Break it up into sections. Watch a little bit of it here and there, and you'll know exactly what's actually going on right now. I can't believe that you're even saying this stuff, Jane. I'm going to be honest with you.
And that's coming from 60 Minutes.
Yeah, do some research.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? That's the thing that I just don't understand. I mean, what are you going to tell me? Iran doesn't carry out terrorist activities or run Hezbollah or Hamas or any of that shit next? They're fucking innocent people over there that were just building a nuclear program for what reason? I mean, these guys have literally gone on there and bragged about it and spoken about it, and they literally said a day before we went out there to carry out the military strikes is that our only deterrent and hopes into not getting into any issues basically is the fact that they're capable with nuclear weapons. They were trying to use that as a deterrent, and why they feel they're only right. It's just what what's his name did, Kim Jong-un there in North Korea, right? Now, when that maniac took power after his father died or whatever, look at what he went and did. I don't even know how the fuck he was allowed to get nuclear weapons to begin with either. But could you just imagine what would happen if Iran was actually capable of making a nuclear weapon? What does that signal to all those other surrounding countries, smaller countries, to go and do? What do you think the first thing that they're going to do is? They're going to build their own nuclear weapons, because that's going to be their only deterrent not to get invaded or to start a war. If they know that their crazy neighbor next door, the crazy psychopath, has a nuclear weapon, well, guess what the fuck they're all going to want to do next? And they're all going to be doing it. So we had no choice but to go in there and strike these guys. I know, Jane, I understand. I know the exact claims regarding the CIA with the Shah and him being a puppet for the West and all that stuff. I'm well aware of it. But you do realize that the information and stuff that this stuff is all coming from.
They have to get over derangement syndrome. They're going to be so bent in 6 months to a year when we have world peace and there's no enemies.
I don't think people understand. This is like one of the most monumental fucking military operations getting carried out within the last 100 years. If they're able to fucking pull this shit off and get rid of the regime that's in there right now, I don't think people understand that.
Yeah, just listen to the Trump his press conference. He's talking. He wants peace and all of us working together. He has to do some things for leverage and whatnot, but he's down with Russia and China, and he went and visited Kim Jong-il.
Oh, Kim
Jong-un.
Yeah. Well, that's at the end of the day, that's what he always said. It's peace through strength. Nobody wants to go out there. Everybody's saying, oh, everybody that voted for Trump has been duped right now. Look, he promised us no wars, and now he's going into a war because they're trying to distract from the fucking Epstein files. Like, I can't believe this is the crazy shit. So we went and possibly started a fucking world war out in the Middle East because you're worried about the fucking Epstein files. Like, you guys can't be. You guys are fucking serious right now. Like, seriously?
God, please stop. Yeah,
that has nothing to do with fucking anything, and it's all a dog and pony show with these fucking people. Everything that happens in the world, we killed El Mencho in fucking in Mexico. Oh, it was the distraction for the Epstein file. We fucking took out Maduro in Venezuela, who, by the way, was doing what? Going and sending fucking oil to countries that were fucking sanctioned, that weren't supposed to get it, to help do what? To fund fucking terrorism and skirt around the sanctions that were levied against them because these guys were trying to commit fucking global atrocities and sponsor fucking terrorism around the world. And like these people, like That was a distraction from the Epstein files. Now the military strikes in Iran are distraction from the Epstein files. Well, then how come Netanyahu was trying to do this? You just said a little while ago, right, Jane, that Netanyahu has been trying to invade Iran and strike Iran for 30 years since the 90s. The Epstein files weren't existent in the 90s, were they? So what was it? What would the argument have been then? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, am I talking crazy right now or logical here?
Oh, they're just ignoring the facts. I mean, they would have smoked Trump with that bullshit in New York City, 34 counts. They would have just buried him with the Epstein situation back then.
Yep. Yep. Why didn't it come out then? This is picking at straws right now.
I know, and it's so crazy because they'll sit back and they'll say like, "Oh, Trump is just Netanyahu and Israel's puppet or whatever. He'll do all their bidding. You know, he's fighting a war for Israel basically right now." Not even understanding that every single fucking president that we've had in the United States has supported and backed Israel for the last 70 years now, since Israel became a fucking nation. What is it, in the 50s, I think?
47, 53, something like that.
Yeah, in the 50s, right? Around there,
Yes.
yeah. Give or take, yeah. For about 70-something fucking years now. Obama, what? So Obama bent the knee. What was he compromised to? Biden bent the knee to Israel and supported them during his whole presidency. I remember when Netanyahu had the beef over there with the Gaza and everything. Biden flew right out to Israel to go over there and give Netanyahu a hug and tell him you have our undying fucking support. Obama got up in front of the whole world and addressed the whole union and told everybody that our support with Israel is unshakable. Basically saying that there's nothing that can, will, or won't happen that we won't have their undying support and be there for them at whatever they need. So what, all those guys were compromised too? I mean, that's the shit you would have to believe in order to fucking say this stuff. You can't be that crazy.
They need to get over that bullshit. They have the first African-American president. They want the first woman president. It's not about history. History is about prolonging life and our future on this planet.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, people have to realize that Israel is our literally our only strategic partner in the Middle East right now. And it's been that way for the last 70 years, right? They have the same ideological views that we do. They have the same political out views and government basically setup that we do. They have the same pretty much fundamental religious and worldviews that we have over there. And at the end of the day, they're what are they? 6 million Jewish people, I think, out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
6-7 million people, something like that. There's only two places really in the world where the Jewish people are really. The fucking Israel and then, you know, parts of the United States and then scattered randomly throughout. But most of the population is the US and in Israel. I think there's maybe a couple million here and a couple of million in there, and that's it. I think it's one of the smallest main religions in the entire world globally.
Yeah.
It's not like Christians or Muslims or anything like that. It's not even close.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're sitting right over there in the Middle East, basically within reach of enemies, living next door to a Muslim, Islam, fundamentalists and stuff like that, they're the ones that got to deal with everything and deal with all the shit that's over there. So they got their balls on the table, if you ask me, because they're the ones that are in harm's way. Anything that happens, they get struck. We don't. Nothing happens to us. We're a fucking ocean apart from them. They can't even reach anybody over here. So anything that we do has a greater impact on Israel because they're right fucking there, no?
Yep. Very much so.
What's that?
I said very much so.
Yeah.
No, listen. Jane says, why do you think AIPAC donates money to politicians, the billionaire super donors who donate to both parties? They prefer bribery, but will blackmail if that fails or do both. Yeah, I understand. I understand that obviously Israel has a special interest in groups that are inside the United States, but so do many other people. But you can't tell me that our government bends the knee because AIPAC donates money to politicians. There's plenty of other people in the billionaire class and other lobbyist groups that provide just as much money and shit like that. At the end of the day, Israel is our number one partner, probably I would consider in the world globally, than any other country in the world. I mean, look at what we're getting from fucking Europe and Britain right now. They don't even want to help us out right now. They're trying to backpedal and fucking get out of it and say that they don't want anything to do with this. They're trying to protest the shit that's going on right now in Iran. Why? I have no fucking idea, because they'll be fucking next.
Because their countries are loaded with Islamic fundamentalists.
They got invaded. They got invaded by the Muslims too. Don't they have a huge problem
Yeah.
out there right now?
Gigantic,
Huge.
yeah.
Yeah,
Huge. It's a mess.
yeah. I heard Britain is like fucking a total mess right now with the shit that's going on over there.
All of Europe, yeah. All of Europe.
All of Europe right now.
Yeah, all of Europe is a mess.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, everything except for Russia. Russia, and they have a bit of a beef with the that one province.
Yeah, I mean that's because those guys don't allow fucking migration into their country. Who the fuck want to go over there anyways?
Yeah, Poland. See the pieces on Poland.
Unless you're running and you're trying to get amnesty over there or whatever. If you're fucking on the run, they'll harbor you like they do all these other people that flee their countries after they get ran out, like all these other dictators.
What cracks me up is all these people protesting with their purple hair and their gay flags and all this stuff. It's like go to Iran and or Afghanistan. Go over there and go there with your shit and see how long you last.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, right.
That's the shit that cracks me up.
Well, yeah, that's the stuff you got to laugh about too. They fucking hate this country so much, but if they wanted to go somewhere else and even say any of the stuff they did, they get killed on sight. They really would. That's the craziest part about it. I just don't understand what these people expect or like expect us to do. So if we sit back and we let these guys, carry out the will that they have, that they believe is, given to them by their good book, by Allah, whatever, they go and wipe out fucking Israel, and then what? What do you say then? You don't care? I mean, that's fucking crazy, because that's how you'd have to take it, no? I mean, how else do you take a comment like that? I don't get it. What are we supposed to do? Just sit back and let fucking these guys wipe them off the face of the earth? Because that's what they want to do. They've always said it for decades. Howard said, Jane, have you ever complained about any other lobbying organization? Oh yeah, I have a strong suspicion she does. That'd be my guess. She's probably subscribed to him. The way that she talks. That's what I'm saying. This is like anti-Semitism, like fucking 101, if you ask me. I don't know what else you would call it. I mean, what's the other word for it? I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's just funny. All these people just what they're it's the same talking points over and over and over again. It's absurd. But shit, hey, I'm gonna jump down, man. I gotta make a couple calls, but I'll be in the chat.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on, brother. Good talking to you.
All right, fellas. All right. Peace out, Scott.
Peace,
yeah.
All
right.
Take care, bro.
Yeah.
Later, man.
All right.
Yeah, I'll drop the link. Anybody wants to hop on and bullshit, feel free to hop on. Thanks for stopping by, Sean. Appreciate it, brother.
It was great having you.
Mickey said the prime was that Mickey? Oh, Mickey. Prime Minister of Israel, Prime Minister of Trump. He sent her the military there. Oh yeah, when is that? That just happened now? Well, I'm glad to see that some people got their fucking heads on straight and don't have their head up their fucking asses.
They're having big issues too, Italy. But
yeah, I heard. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Jane said, the entire legalized bribery systems need to be trashed. It all began with citizens. Oh my god, these people are like conspiracy theorists, man. I swear.
There's some things you can't change. We're human beings. It's in our DNA. It's about being morally correct and trying to be as righteous as possible.
I don't even know what to say to some of these people. It's like you can't even talk rationally to people that are so fucking dead set on it's like I just want to come out of bullshit and hear other people's opinions and stuff. But like you hear them talk and they say stuff and you try to respond to it and they just throw out a bunch of fucking conspiracy theories on shit and it's like, what the fuck?
Horse blinders.
I guess
right.
I guess so. I mean, supposedly, I guess one of the things now is that I guess Rubio had made a comment in front of Congress or something that Israel told them that they were going to strike Iran no matter what, whether we were going to help them or not. And basically, we knew that as a result, the Iranians were going to go out and lash out and start firing, missiles and drones at all the, military bases in the region or whatever. So we carried out a preemptive strike basically to let them, know and be on guard that we're going to be in the fight with Israel to help them out because they were going to carry this out regardless. So I don't know if that's where a lot of this stuff is stemming from at the end of the day, but regardless of the fact is that the whole position of the people on the left right now is that this whole thing is a conspiracy because it's a distraction from the fucking Epstein files, because they have blackmail on them due to whatever shit was going on with Epstein, and Netanyahu has Trump in his pocket, so therefore he has to say and do whatever Israel wants, is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Then at the same time, like Jane just said a minute ago, that Netanyahu has wanted to carry out these strikes and go after Iran since the 1990s. Well, what is it? Did Israel want to strike these guys since the 1990s and they're only doing it now? Why? Because they have a blackmail on somebody? That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't pass the sniff test. It's that fucking ridiculous. I mean, it really is. You can't. Yeah. Citizens United is law. You should be embarrassed or no? I don't know what that's about, to be honest with you. You want to grab the link and come on? I love to discuss it because I have no idea what you're talking about. It all
Yeah, that would be the right way to handle it.
Are you talking about the bank? Isn't that a bank, Citizens United?
Yeah.
You know or no?
Sorry.
I don't know much about that, so I don't know.
Yeah, come up and explain it and debate it.
I don't know exactly what that's about, to be honest with you. I'd love to have you on and talk about it, though. Maybe you can inform me and fill me in, because I have no idea exactly what that's about, to be honest with you. I have no fucking clue. Absolutely no clue.
Oblivious to the books that they train these kids at 2-3 years old to hate Israel, and they need to destroy them. The propaganda that they've been perpetuating over the last 40 years, 50 years, the state of Iran, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested, obviously, to see what happens. Like a lot of the people are out in the Middle East right now, and hopefully the Iranian people will be able to finally get a regime that's in power that has the best interest of its people and the people out there in the Middle East for the future of stability in that region, because they don't have any other choice as far as I see it. And now it's already gone far enough where you can't really look back. What's done is done at the end of the day. So they have to carry this out until the end, the way that I see it. And hopefully they don't. And it doesn't sound like Trump's ever going to bend the knee. I mean, he's been pretty firm on his word and what he's going to do out there. So I don't think that they're willing to sacrifice any of that either. So, Ruben, what's up, man?
What's up, Common?
Hey,
What's up,
Ruben.
Steve? How you doing?
Yeah, not too much, man. We're just bullshitting about the shit that's going on right now.
Yeah,
You
man.
been paying attention to it?
Not to be honest, not really. I wanted to kind of ask, I mean, Jane, is she basing any stuff off of like, religion or anything like that? You know what I mean? Like in scriptures it says, you know what I mean, like supposedly Christianity is gonna back up Israel, you know what I'm saying?
In regards to what?
Like say towards like was it like a 7 nations is gonna attack, Israel, and then God will, destroy them with fire and brimstone.
Oh, you're talking about like the Revelations?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know exactly what the book says. I'm not like a huge Bible thumper or anything like that.
Right.
So I don't know exactly, but I know. Are you referring to the 7 nations like when 9/11 happened and 2001? I think when Bush was president, they were talking about going to war with like Libya, Turkey, Lebanon, like all those countries.
What was it says? It says in scripture, 7 nations will attack Israel. You know what I mean? So like they'll be surrounded on every side. And
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, and God Himself, you know what I mean? Like He's not gonna appoint anybody from the earth, and God Himself will destroy those 7 nations with fire and brimstone. So like He'll launch, some fireballs or some shit like that.
Yeah, so I got it looked up right here. It says Bible prophecy regarding nations attacking Israel refers primarily to the end of times. Gog and Magog invasion from Ezekiel 38:39, the final battle of Jerusalem, Zechariah 14. It says it identifies a large confederation from the far north and other regions that all the nations are gathered against Jerusalem. Oh, there's a couple different quotes about it, I guess. Deuteronomy lists 7 specific nations, and it has all the old names for them, the Canaanites, the Hivites, all them. That Israel was to displace, often cited as a type of surrounding enemies in prophecy. Yeah, and then it says the purpose was to capture, spoil, splendor, and destroy the Jewish people. Then God intervenes directly, causing chaos among the invaders and protecting a remnant of Israel. Okay, I see what you're saying. So you're basically saying that you think that this is more of like a holy war, and the shit that's going on is all laid out in Bible prophecy right now. That
Well,
it was like,
I think a lot of times when people are backing up, say like Israel, it's because it's in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, take for instance, today itself. You know what I mean? They're not looking at it like, okay, what homeboy's doing is kind of fucked up or whatever. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, when it comes down to the end times and stuff, that's why the U.S. will always back Israel.
oh, I see. So you think it's based off like religious principles?
Yeah, absolutely. The U.S. will always back Israel because of Bible prophecy. Yes, thank you.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, they were talking about. I guess there was one of the generals or something like that. I guess they claimed that he was given like a speech to the troops or whatever, getting them ready before the strikes, and he was talking about this was like the will of God or something like that to protect the Jewish people or whatever. And they might fucking honestly believe that. I don't know if that was actually said, if it's on record, but that was being reported. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're fighting people that are in essence, they're fighting their own holy war. So I understand when people on the left are saying that there's no way that the U.S. or Israel can win at the end of the day because these people are the Persian people and people in Iran have been there for 6,000 years, I think, a history, 7,000 years, something like that. They go to the very, earliest stages of civilization out there. So expecting these guys overnight to change or whatever, you could scratch that off the book. That's not going to happen. But most of the people that are out there aren't these fucking radical, fundamental terrorists and shit that use that book to carry out, terrorist activities to try to take over the areas that are around them either.
Right.
The regular religious people, the Muslims, Islam, and stuff like that, they aren't warmongers and stuff. They're decent people, but unfortunately, they get these fucking maniacs in power that use that book in order to carry out, their own interpretation of what the shit says to go and do this stuff, And that's where I think the problem is.
Like they have, what's it called? Shit, with their daughters, if they marry somebody, they're allowed to kill their own daughters and stuff.
If they break the religion.
That's Sharia law.
Sharia law, yes, yeah. The whole thing though is over there. It's been a holy war. You know what I mean? It's been a land war, land grab. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, no matter what anybody does, what we do at least, you know what I'm saying? Like, all we can do is like say, good luck. Like we don't have no stake in this shit.
Yeah, well, that's why we're kind of like a catch-22 where it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't at the end of the day. Because if you just sit back idly and let Iran get their hands on, nuclear capabilities, they've already spoken about them wanting to wipe Israel off of the map. So why wouldn't Israel want to take any steps that they can, knowing they're right next door to these guys, to make sure that can't happen? I mean, that's
right, but like, do you not think like, that they would already be taking, steps to do that anyways, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit that we get told, I always think like this, it's 10 steps behind, you know what I mean? So if we get something and they say, oh, breaking news, it's like, no, this shit is like fucking like 10 years ago or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
What, like they're reporting stuff that happened like a while back and acting like it just occurred today?
Kind of, you know what I mean? But like they're making it seem like it's the breaking news, but like they took care of that shit like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, right.
It's kind of like
a lot of
like the trickster. They say, look at this hand, so you don't look at the left hand, so you
right
don't
hand. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they're trying to actually hide what's actually going on.
Right. So there's something going on. So they give us like some of the information, right? But they don't give us all the information. So we have to do a lot of the guessing. a lot of the shit too, though, like when you see or when you start to hear like the country doing the information control, yeah, that's a big fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like that's a seriously big thing. China likes to do that shit. Russia, I believe, likes to do that shit. Um, so if Iran is fucking holding back, like, you know, the web or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? North Korea likes to do that shit, you know what I'm saying? So
Oh
when
yeah,
they
they
hold
tell
back
us.
information, yeah,
Yeah,
so that nobody else could see what the fuck is actually really going on in the country, or it's a whole propaganda thing, like you had said, right? So
yeah, that's how they control the population basically and keep them in line by cutting
correct,
off
correct.
information
And you had asked,
and what?
right, you had asked the question about the regimes, right? When you got a regime that comes in and they're willing to kill their own people, you know, without any shame and shit, what the people need to do is understand, like, look, United States, there's more of us than there is the government. You know what I'm saying? Over in Iran, there's more people than there is other regime. If they're worried about them killing their families and shit, what you do is you gather together and you go after the regime and their families. And I guarantee you that shit will come to that close. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did to Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, well, they got all the people that were persecuted by him to band together to uprise against them with
Right,
and shit like that.
right.
Yeah,
So
the
see,
problem.
Pablo Escobar, when he was you know, he would do stuff good for the people and shit like that. But when he started fucking bombing schools and children's schools and shit like that, the people were like, you done fucked up. And so they band together, put some people together, started going after his people, everybody that he knows, everybody that he does business with. So then he went on the run, had his family go on the run, and that's how he fucked up.
Well,
He even
but the problem with that though is that Pablo Escobar didn't have the support of the fucking military and the government.
That's very true.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot different with these guys, where they are basically domestic terrorists at the end of the day, which is a lot. You know, basically what he was doing, except for the fact that it's the government that's doing it.
Right, right.
So they control. You know, when you control, the other problem too is that I think Iran has about like 90 million people in the country, and I think there's a million of them that are in the military or in their police force, and not including like the militia groups and shit like that they have outside of
Right.
it. And they operate in all 12 of those countries surrounding them in the Middle East that carry out all of these terrorist acts. They got the Hezbollah group, the Hamas group, they got the Houthis, and these guys are constantly out creating havoc all over the place. And Iran
Right.
sits back and acts like, oh, we're a peaceful Muslim people. We don't bother to do anything. But meanwhile, they're the ones that support all these fucking terrorist groups that carry out all these attacks all over the Middle East. So
Right.
you can't
Now,
have
when
it both ways when you got the government that's coming out there saying that their entire hopes are to get nuclear weapons so that they won't ever be invaded or used as a deterrent against anybody doing anything against them, so they can continue to wreak havoc throughout the Middle East, because they wanted to take over and turn that whole area into the way that they see things. They want everybody around
right,
them
they
to
want to
see
turn it into a Muslim, fucking half the continent into a Muslim, and same thing with United States. You know what I mean? Turn the
yeah, and
United
that's what
States into Islam.
yeah, and that's what the problem is. I mean, the guys
Muslim
have
fucking
even come
country.
out and spoken about how they've sent out, I don't know exactly what the wording is in their book or whatever, but they talk about how the Muslim people are supposed to spread out and inhabit the earth and take over the earth or whatever.
Correct.
People in the fucking Iranian government and the military, the IRGC that runs the country, are talking about how they've been sending these Muslims and everything. Look what we were just talking. Look what they've been doing in Europe right now. They're trying to spread out so that they can take over those
Bad.
settlements and those countries and those lands, so that everybody across the whole globe all believes in the same thing that they do.
Right. You
And
know, in
that's
the UK, they have grape groups. I mean, like grape gangs or whatever. You know what I mean? Where they go around and they're graping the women and shit. Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
they're
they take,
they're sick, man.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Did you see this clip? Did you see the start of the show I was playing? The clip that this asshole said?
Oh, I came in late.
Oh, you got to listen to this. Listen to what this maniac says. Now, this is a professor, right, at one of the schools in Iran, like a known professor. Listen to what this asshole is saying is going on right now. You're not going to believe this. Wait till you listen to this. If this isn't fucking propaganda, and they're not doing this political shit with the left or whatever, you're not going to believe this. Listen to this crap. I got to pull this up. Ready? This fucking guy's out of his mind. Wait till you hear what he says. Let me pull this up real quick. This guy.
Izadi, he's the associate professor of the Faculty of World Studies, University of Tehran in Iran. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us with at this moment. Let me ask you, after the elimination of the leader of your country and largely the entire the leadership which was close to him, his inner circle, what is the situation as the offensive and the counter-offensive between Israel, Iran, and United States continues?
There is this culture of resistance in Iran. When you push Iranians, they push back. I think Indians do the same. And the idea that Trump and Netanyahu had was they want to change Iran's government. This is not my analysis. This is what they said on the first day of their illegal attacks on Iran. And they are doing the reverse. They are creating this rally around the flag effect. We had millions and millions of people coming to the streets, large cities, small cities, mourning the passing away of the country's leader. Even some people who did not like some of the policies, they don't want their country to be attacked. They don't want schools to be attacked, hospitals to be attacked. They're implementing the Zahia doctrine in Iran. The Zahia doctrine is what they used in Gaza. They attacked every single school, every single hospital. We lost 165.
Listen to this part right here. You ready? This is the part, and then we can talk. Wait till you hear this. What this asshole says. You ready?
Little girls, small girls, when they hit an elementary school. We are dealing with the Epstein class. They like to rape American little girls, and they like to bomb and kill Iranian.
Listen to this one more time. This is the
small girls when they hit an elementary school. We are dealing with the Epstein class. They like to rape American little girls, and they like to bomb and kill Iranian little.
Now, can you believe this shit? Honestly,
it's funny. He said, so you're dealing with the Epstein class. They like to rape and bomb little girls and shit like that. When as the United States, or when has a person from the United States, walked into a fucking school or a mall or whatever fucking, whatever, with a chest bomb, whatever fuck that shit is, and just blown up some fucking people. But I like the propaganda, Like, yeah, let's talk about the little girls and the Epstein stuff, because, that's what's popular right now in the United States.
Yeah, well, think about how ironic this is. This is coming from the country that fucking the legal age to marry is 13 years old, right?
And right, and you can murder your own damn daughter because you don't like the person that you fucking married.
Yeah, and that if as long as you like the people's family and you have an agreement, it's okay that if your daughter is as young as 9 years old, you can send her off to get married to some 70-year-old fucking man. And then now you got these people on here complaining, talking about this is the Epstein class, saying that the Americans are the ones that, grape little girls and want to do stuff to women and children. Meanwhile, these people have laws where a woman can't even show her hair out in public. Otherwise, she can get fucking basically beaten to death and have no rights and get sent to jail for 10 years of her life. And then we should listen to propaganda and shit like this coming from these people. That's what I find unbelievable. I can't even take it.
Well, if anybody listens to that and they're like, oh my God, he's right, get the fuck out of here. I mean, that shit is just plain as day. If you, like you said, just look at what the fuck they do, they murder their women, if they show their face and whatever the fuck, they can beat the shit out of their women and nobody does nothing, they can murder their daughter because, she did something wrong to her husband or whatever the fuck it is, or 9 years old, they can marry him off. Like, yeah, there's so much shit that you could be like, I wouldn't pay attention to that shit, and then just throw in the Epstein bullshit. Okay.
You there, Scott?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
What's up, Scott?
Hi.
Jane said the attack that Hezbollah was allegedly behind was a response to Israel killing one of their leaders. So how is the Iran the top sponsor of terrorism on earth? Jane, are you serious right now? You do realize that Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis are all sponsored, funded, and backed by Iran, right? I mean, they've openly admitted this. It's a well-known documented fact.
Jane
Hamas,
has
Hezbollah, and the Houthis have gone all over the Middle East and carried out terrorist activities all over the place. Iran's directly responsible for all of that. So what do you think Iran would have done if they got nuclear capabilities? They've already been threatening to wipe Israel and the United States off the map. Why would we ever allow these people to get nuclear weapons? They admitted a day before we went in there and carried out this military operation, they told our U.S. envoys that the strikes that we did back in the summer, they were able to sneak out 400 to 500 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, and that they only needed a matter of maybe a week or two in order for them to get it up to military grade uranium to make around 11 nuclear missiles. So what do you think that they were going to do with them if they got their hands on them? Now, don't forget, this is after the U.S. and Israel had been telling them for months that if you guys don't want us to come in there and take military actions, that you need to allow the nuclear atomic energy people to come in there and investigate and look at all the facilities and stuff that they have going on. And they refused to do that for months and months and months. They refused to do this. Right before things started heating up, when Israel and them said that we're going to carry out these military actions if you guys don't allow this, they go and they threaten the U.S. envoy and tell our president and the government, including Israel, that we don't care. We're defiant in this. We still have uranium, and we plan on continuing to enrich uranium so that we can make a nuclear weapon, so that we can have a deterrent from you guys ever carrying out those military actions you guys keep threatening to do to us. So what do you mean? What do you mean right now? How are you going to discredit the last 40 years of 50 years of history between these countries and the stuff that's been carried out all across the Middle East? In the words they say, they chant death to America. They talk openly about wanting to wipe Israel and the Jews off the face of the earth. Well, what do you expect Israel and the United States to do in response to that? I don't understand that. What is your source of information? I want to read some of that stuff. What do you sorry if I missed a comment. I was talking, Unknown Trader. What is that in response to? What question, if you can be specific? How do I know they claim to have uranium? Is there?
Yeah.
Yes, they have. They
did
when Jared Kushner and the other hold on right now. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna pull it up right now and I'm gonna look it up. I'll tell you exactly what their names are right now. The Iranian IRGC leaders in Iran told the U.S. envoy a day before we went in for military strikes that they still had 400 to 500 kilograms of enriched uranium and were threatening to continue enriching it, and that they would have nuclear capabilities within the next week or two. It's all documented. That's why we went in there and did it. I mean, you can look it up. It's all on record. Hold on. I'm going to pull it up right now and get the link. Give me 2 seconds. Guys, hold me down for a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen.
I mean,
Trump
they
just had a
admitted,
press conference. Go.
What's
they
that?
admitted out of their own mouths that they fucking had. Steve Witkoff is the guy's name. The Iranian negotiators told him directly and Jared Kushner that they possessed enough enriched uranium to produce 11 nuclear bombs. The amount of enrichments Iranian representative claims that they controlled was 460 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium. Witkoff stated that the Iranian side indicated that this material could be enriched to 90% weapons grade within the next 7 to 10 days. The admission was made reportedly and proudly with no shame as part of their opening in heated negotiations to take their position. Witkoff characterized the talks as difficult, noting that by the second meeting, it was clear a deal was impossible, that the Iranian side appeared to be boasting about their nuclear capabilities. These reports escalated tensions following the U.S.-Israel actions aimed at Iranian nuclear infrastructure, with officials expressing serious concern over Iran's capacity to move rapidly towards a nuclear weapon. Now, if you remember, you can go back into the news, right? When we carried out those operations back in the summertime, when they bombed those nuclear sites and the silos that they had, they were boasting, the Iranian IRGC and the Ayatollah came on and were boasting about how we didn't take out all their nuclear sites and that they still possessed several hundred kilograms of 60% enriched uranium. They said that on their own broadcast on Tehran news or whatever you want, or whatever the news station is out there in Iran. A known terrorist was photographed executing a woman holding a severed head, and Trump called him a handsome man. Oh, come on, man! You sound fucking stupid, bro.
Didn't you say something about something about the water?
The Ayatollah, unknown trader, the Ayatollah said it. They went on and bragged about how we didn't get all the uranium. Huh? I have to try. I'm trying to pull up the video. I remember watching the video on it. They were boasting.
Didn't you say something about the water? Like they're having something to do with the water?
Well, yeah. Well, the issue is out there is that they don't have access to fresh water out there, so they have these desalination plants out there. Basically, they desalinate the water out there so they can make it fresh water. And without those plants being operable and running, the people there would die within several weeks of not having fresh water. I think you have like 10 days or something like that.
Yeah.
So Tehran almost a couple of months ago, because they're out basically in a desert area, they have no fresh water out there. They were already running low on their reserves out there. So basically, what they wanted to do is really go after them. If they just went after and blew up those water filtering plants, they'd be fucking done. I mean, that's something if they want. And Iran could do that to the other people in the surrounding countries too, because they rely on the same thing where they live too. It's not just in Iran, it's the whole area out there. None of them that have fresh water. They all rely on those plants.
So do you know who is the one that is protecting those plants? Like what military group or country or whatever is protecting those plants?
No, it's just whatever the governments in those countries are that are protecting it. It's their desalination plant. So if they want, they'd have to do it to their own people then, but they'd be hurting themselves realistically. I'm saying if they wanted to do it to another country, that'd be something that they would target. And I think they tried bombing one of them, if I'm not mistaken, but I think the interceptor missile took it out and it wasn't able to strike. But they believed that was one of the places they were trying to hit. I'm trying to find the oh, right here. If you go back, the New York Times reported it, and Iran had 970 pounds of highly enriched uranium, which the bulk of it was in Isfahan. I'm trying to find the exact quote it was. I forget who said it, but I think it was like the defense minister or something like that from Iran, from the IRGC, that stated it. They were boasting right after the attacks on the nuclear sites that we didn't get all of their uranium, and they still had 700 kilograms of enriched uranium.
Do they know where they got the uranium from, or did they already have it?
No, we allowed them to enrich uranium when Obama signed the nuclear deal when he was in office. That's what the problem is that the Iranians claimed that they needed nuclear enrichment in order to provide nuclear energy for the country, for the people or whatever. Now the problem is that if you're trying to create nuclear energy and nuclear power for the people in your country, why do you need to build the facilities underground under 3 layers of decoys and shit like that? Obviously, you're not doing it to create nuclear energy for your people. You're trying to build military grade uranium enrichment centers to get nuclear weapons, and they've been openly speaking about it.
Right. So like when the Iraq war happened, right, and we sent people over there to look for these,
WMD,
whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, and they didn't find shit. How come they didn't let us in this time? Wasn't there a thing that a group that they were going to go in and test the bullshit?
In regards to what?
To the uranium, to what I mean. So basically, remember in Iraq, they kept telling us no, that we couldn't send people in to go go search for these nuclear weapons or whatever, right?
Yeah, they refused to let us in. Yeah.
Right. Isn't that the same thing that just happened with Iran?
Yes.
And what was their excuse that they didn't let us do that? And it's not just the United States, mind you. That's it's a group of other country, different country people going in there. It's not just people from the United States doing that.
Yeah, no, it's the nuclear energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They refuse to let the investigators and shit go into their country. But we have meters and sensors and stuff like that that can test this stuff.
Correct.
So they found out that some of the facilities that they had, the reason they bombed them is because they were getting reports back that there was 80%, 87.2%,
Right.
I think, uranium enrichment levels coming off that facility. That's why they fucking bombed them, because
right. So once it tested,
90% is military grade for nuclear weapons. Yeah.
Right. Once it tested over, and so how can they know that they have uranium? Well, for one, you know what I mean, they have the spy planes and shit like that, and they could do gamma fucking testing and all this other bullshit. You can test it from the water. Also, you can test it from the ground. You know what I mean? So, like, if you have people there, I'm pretty sure, you know, they have people that live in Iran that, you know, will help out the United States, whatever, and send them soil samples and shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how the testing is done. I'd have to look it up. I just know that they have a way of checking it with like the meters or sensors or whatever they have to find out exactly, you know, what levels the stuff is enriched at. And it says right here, if you go to CBS News, they have reports on it and articles and videos written on it from 8 months ago for the person that's asking in the chat. I think I just lost it. 1 second. I was trying to respond to somebody in the chat. I think it was Unknown Trader that was asking the question. I want to keep up on them reports. Yeah, Unknown Trader. If you go to CBS News, if you just type in Iran uranium, and the nuclear sites, it talks about in there. They were bragging about it after the strikes, in the media and the news. The Ayatollah and the regime in Iran was talking about how they were able to get 900 pounds of uranium out of there and avoided the strikes that we just levied against them from back in the summer. So it's not a false report. I mean, it's all out there. I remember watching this shit on the news. It definitely happened, as a matter of fact. And like I said, right beforehand, they were bragging about still having the uranium. So they believe right here. There's another article. Look up. Do you guys follow the Times of Israel? You guys ever watch any of their stuff, like Al Jazeera, anything coming out of the Middle East?
Every once in a while. I haven't really been keeping up on that shit. I really don't dig Homeboy.
I mean,
I watch I-24 too, but
what does he say? He said there's reports, but there's nothing concrete. If you do a fact check, it comes up as speculating. I'm just saying. Well, this was stated on record from the Iranian government. If you look it up, and it said that it was told directly to the U.S. envoys that told the this is just subject to opinion. But if you're going to tell me the president of Iran and the guys that work directly for the Ayatollah brag about the fact that they were going to be nuclear independent and use that as a deterrent in order to stop Israel or the United States from doing anything to these guys. I mean, why would they say that then? That doesn't make very much sense, does it?
To who were they bragging? This is what they're trying to figure out.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. My computer fucking just froze. I tried to open up a website and it just froze on me. Give me a second.
You know, there's also this, you know what I mean? Sorry. Sometimes you have family members, you know what I'm saying, that live in these countries or they travel back and forth, you know what I mean? So like these are like firsthand witnesses and stuff. Even though, you know, they're not news reporters and stuff, but when they come back, you know, home or whatever, and they tell their other family members, it's like, oh no shit, that shit's really going down, huh? There's that too. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not saying I know anybody that lives in Iran, but I'm just putting that out
there. There's so much that they don't even release, top secret missions and whatnot. Deterring things.
They can't, you know what I mean? Like it was just, you know. I think we had talked about this. You know what I mean? Like how the CIA fucking pushes information and shit like that. You know what I mean? Bustamante, what's his name? Something Bustamante.
Yes, Bustamante.
Yeah. Go watch that dude's little fucking thing on the Connect and understand how they push information and shit. And, you know, you'll start to realize, oh, okay, you know what? Not everything is everything. You know what I'm saying? They just give us a little bit.
Yeah, and that stuff isn't like the Kennedy assassination, stuff like that, where 40 years from now, they're going to release it. Like that's state secrets I mean, yeah, they probably would release it down the line, especially now that we're at war, but it's not going to be anytime soon. But the threat is real. The
All right,
threat is
finally, man. I don't know
real.
what the fuck happened to my computer. I couldn't even click on anything, bro. You fucking hacking somebody's hacking my fucking my computer right now, man. You're fucking up my
The IRGC
Hey, if you
got
guys
you,
haven't
bro.
already, yeah, I know. For who's hacking me, man? If you guys haven't already, if you do enjoy this show, please hit that like button. If anybody would like
Hit
to
that like
help
button.
support the channel, it would be much appreciated. I got the Cash App, Venmo, PayPal at the bottom of the ticker there. Thank you guys for being here, and let's answer some questions. So what was I looking up when this fucking computer froze? Somebody had a question. You guys remember which one it was? The chat's flying by.
Homeboy wanted to know. Oh shit, where who to whom that they were bragging to, whom Iran was bragging to, or whatever.
Where they released.
No, all right. Unknown trader, you want to grab the link, man? Look, here's the link. Anybody's welcome. I hate fucking going back and forth in the chat. Just grab the link, brother. Just come on and have a conversation. It's not that big of a deal. Nobody's gonna bite, bro.
This isn't a pile on.
I hate fucking sitting back and forth and want to argue with somebody in a fucking chat and reading like quarter fucking snide comments that they make. I'd rather just have a conversation about it. It'd be a lot easier.
One-on-one.
Nah, nobody.
Yeah.
It's just easier to have a conversation than to go back and forth responding to 10 different people in the chat. You know what I mean? If they're typing 10 comments, just come on and grab the link. It's fine. But I was trying to look up the guy's name who was talking about the uranium. It was from the president. I just don't know the guy's name. I think his name's like Masood something. I just can't find his last name.
Right.
They're trying to.
I would agree with that. You know what I mean? To certain aspects, you know what I'm saying? But to what is being suppressed, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you know, how do we know what is really being suppressed?
Well, listen, this is all personal opinion, and I have to highly disagree with you. I'm sorry, but I think that if this administration didn't go into Iran and carry out these military strikes that they're doing right now, that Iran was going to have their hands on a nuclear weapon, and we were going to be a direct and imminent threat to the regime and to Iran. They've already threatened to wipe Israel and everybody else off the map. How are you going to do that without nuclear weapons? Did you see the president? Unknown trader, did you see the president 2 days ago, the president of Iran, come forward and apologize to the 12 countries in the Middle East who they shot missiles and drones at, and apologized and said that we have no other choice but to bomb the surrounding countries because we don't have a missile that can reach the continental United States? So what does that message tell you?
I think that's the information that they were asking for, like way before. Where did you get that source?
Oh, the president said it. I watched it on the Times of India on the news channel in Al Jazeera.
Okay.
It was a whole video that he did 2 days ago. He went out and he was talking in an interview, and he spoke about it. He wanted to apologize for bombing the 12 surrounding countries with military bases. He said, "I'm sorry, but you have the United States to blame. They know that we don't have missiles or weapons that can reach the continental United States, so we have no choice but to bomb the military bases that the U.S. has in the areas that we can hit." I mean, that's what the guy said out of his own mouth. So all you have to do is turn back and extrapolate from that and say, okay, well, that means that if this guy did have missiles to reach the United States, they would fucking use them, right?
Yes.
I don't know
how else to take that.
Theoretically, yes. I mean, but like you got to understand, if they were to do that, they would understand like the U.S. would obviously retaliate, and that's why Russia, China, you know what I mean, ain't gonna throw no nukes at us because it would just be devastation everywhere. You know what I mean? So if Iran wants to do that, they would understand that they would be annihilated at the same time, and every other country surrounding them also.
Yeah. Well, this is the primary issue, though. It's not the fact of whether or not Iran is ever going to just lash out, strike out, and use nuclear weapons. The bottom line is that Iran wants to have nuclear weapons to be a deterrent, so nobody can go in there and strike them or carry out any military operations because they have a threat of firing a nuclear weapon at you. which is why we
Right.
haven't gone to war with Russia or gone to war with China or done any of
Right.
that stuff. Somebody's trying to jump on, but your device isn't connected. Try to come back in. It says device not connected. I can't even add you on here. It says you need to reconnect your mic and camera before you can add them to the stream. So try to come back in.
This comment right here, though, this comment right here, it stands true though to anything. Like even when we went into Iraq and everything, you know what I'm saying? And we always have to understand this. Anytime we take out any regime and a new regime comes in, does not mean like, okay, we installed a better fucking happier fucking regime. It could be worse than the one that they had before. You know what I'm saying? But those are the chances that people take.
Well, see that's why this is different than Iraq or any of these other places. We have to learn from the mistakes that we made in the past when we had these regime changes in these places. Now, if it comes forth and comes to fruition that this war is going on for fucking 2 months down the road from now, and we haven't gotten anywhere with the regime, and they're going to replace the Ayatollah Khamenei that we took out with another fucking fundamentally radical, individual that's going to, want to carry out the same will that they had before under the other regime, then yeah, that's a problem then. But as Trump stated and Netanyahu stated Israel, we're not going to accept anybody to take over power until we accept that person. So they just said that they wanted Khamenei's son to take over. Well, guess what happened to Khamenei's son this morning? They bombed the building he was in, and he got injured in the bomb attack. And luckily for him, he wasn't killed. But guess what's going to happen as soon as they find out where he is next?
Right.
He's going to get it. So they're basically telling everybody that there's no surrendering. There's no negotiations. The president of Iran the other day, when he apologized to the 12 countries that they struck for the bombs, came forward and said, "Oh no, now we want to now we want to negotiate and get the deal that you offered to us a couple of weeks ago." And Trump said, "Forget about it." He said, "You should have taken that deal when we offered it to you a couple of weeks ago. That deal's gone now. You aren't in any position to negotiate with us." And that's why Iran wants to have nuclear weapons. So if they had nuclear weapons, it'd be a direct deterrent. So they can't have economic sanctions levied against them.
Correct.
They don't have to worry about threats or intimidation from anybody from the U.S. and the West meddling in their affairs in the Middle East. And that's the whole point of not allowing these maniacs to get nuclear weapons. And what do you think would have happened if these guys got nuclear weapons to all the surrounding countries in the Middle East? Guess what they all would have had to been trying to do too?
Correct.
They would have also been wanting to get their own nuclear weapons because they got a fucking maniac on their border with one.
Exactly.
So, all right. Well, let's see what they say. I don't know. Whoever Patrick is, you're trying to come on. It says your device wasn't connected. Try to come back on, man. I'll drop the link back in the chat for you. Sometimes if you're not logged in on the on your YouTube account or whatever, make sure you allow your mic and oh, now it's telling me I can't even drop a link in the chat. Can anybody copy and paste the link in there for me?
You just dropped one right now. Yeah, I see it.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's telling me my internet connection is fucking. That's why this shit keeps freezing on me. My apologies. 1 second.
So like in the whole scheme of things is the United States and Israel did this. You know what I mean? Like we get it around, the people, you know what I mean? You guys are in a fuck situation. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make the first step. Boom. Now it's up to you. You either take back your fucking country or you don't. But don't bitch and complain about it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to do what you got to do. So I think that's where I think that is, you know what I mean?
That is. I mean, nobody ever wants to give it this to them.
Patrick, it says you need to connect your mic and camera before I can add you to the stream. I can't even. I'm trying to add you, bro. That's what it's telling me. It says device not connected. I don't know what type of device you're on. It says you need to connect your mic and camera. You have to go into your settings. I don't know if you're in the chat what name you're under, but you guys know who that is, Patrick?
No,
I've never seen him.
Is that the unknown trader guy? Somebody in the chat.
I don't know. He's not saying that he's trying to come up or anything.
All right. I mean, I don't know how to fix this. Does anybody in the chat that's listening know how to tell this guy how to connect it?
If he's listening, he could have heard you. You know what I mean? If he's watching, they should have heard you.
Yeah. I just don't know if there's a setting or something on his phone. Or if you're on Google Chrome, try opening it up on Safari. If you're on Safari, try opening up Google Chrome to do the StreamYard.
Right. When I click on, like, you know what I mean, StreamYard or whatever, like the link, it'll pop up, you know, continue it, I think Google, whatever the fuck, or YouTube. And then I see my name and stuff. And then when I click that, the camera and the mic thing will pop up. And you either allow it or you don't, or you shut the, you know, you can mute the camera or mute the mic.
Yeah, if you're listening, Patrick, that's what you have to do. You have to I think you have to change your settings on the camera or the microphone to allow it. If you're on a computer, you have to go into your system preferences and go in, and you have to go into your system preferences. I don't know if you're on a Mac or something. If it's a person in the chat, if you're in the chat, I can tell you how to do it because you can't come on. Because I know if you're on a Mac, you have to go to security and privacy. And then you go down and you have to unclick your microphone and your camera and then reopen your browser and it'll allow you to do it. I don't know why, but hopefully if you're listening, you can come on if you want to join. I don't know why it's doing that, brother. Sorry.
Unknown trader, they don't need a missile to explode a weapon in America.
Yeah, the president of Iran said sorry, but we are attacking American interests. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, the president said that. We're sorry for bombing your countries, but the reason we're doing it is because we can't send a bomb to the United States. So we're bombing the United States' bases in the area. Right. So now what do you think that they would do if they had a missile that can reach the United States? They fucking send it here. They've also threatened to, this is what I don't understand why this is even an argument. I'll say it one more time. They've been threatening for the last 50 years to wipe Israel and the Jewish people off the face of the earth. Do you guys not understand that? Israel is right there, geography, right? Where they're placed. They're literally right next door to these people. They're within striking distance. As you've seen them sending missiles to fucking Tel Aviv and all throughout Israel for the past weeks now. Have you guys not seen any of this shit? Now, what do you think they do if they had a fucking nuclear weapon? They send Hezbollah and Hamas and the Houthis and all these people to carry out these fucking attacks all over the place all the time. What do you think they would be doing with nuclear fucking weapons? And why do they need them? That's the $1 million question.
Right. They've been doing okay without them so far. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's only a flex to have them.
All it is a deterrent. That's all it is. No, I honestly don't believe that any nuclear weapons will ever be used. God forbid. I hope that they don't, because that'll be the end of fucking humanity, honestly.
Right.
Because it's going to be mutual destruction on both ends, and there's nobody's going to come out alive, because it's going to be, you know, bomb for bomb basically, and nobody's going to be left. There's enough nuclear weapons to blow this planet up probably 10 times over, and then still have some left over after that. So I don't think anybody should have them, but the problem is this. You can't tell everybody to denuclearize and everybody agrees to it, because guess what's going to happen? There's going to be some maniac running some country that says, hey, I know we're not supposed to have this, but guess what? I got me a nuclear weapon. And if those guys get out of line, I'm going to drop that shit. And then what?
Right.
So unfortunately, it's a necessary evil, right? And the fact that people know that it's mutual destruction is a deterrent for people to go in to try to do what? Invade other countries, start fucking wars, and do the exact shit that's going on right now. And for people to sit back and have such a problem with what the U.S. and Israel is doing in Iran right now, why don't you sit back and think about what Russia did to fucking Ukraine? Ukraine doesn't have nuclear weapons. They weren't doing anything. The reason why Russia invaded Ukraine is because they didn't want Ukraine to join NATO, because they didn't want to have a U.S. military base on their border, right? Now, they've been at war with Iran for what, going on 5 years now? Nobody had a problem with the U.S. supplying Ukraine to help them defend the shit that's going on in Russia right now, to supply them weapons and do all that stuff. But now that we're supplying Israel, because there's always this fucking anti-Semitic, you know, hating the Jews, blame the Zionist fucking Jews for everything, propaganda and motivation. Now it's a problem that we want to get involved in Iran. But if we go and help Ukraine to fight Russia, one of our other enemies and shit, well, that's all right, but only to what extent then? Because Israel's not involved in that one directly. Why is there no problem and no issue over there? Because they're doing the same shit we're doing right now. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly agnostic. Well, you want to come on, agnostic, and join the show? If you want to come on, you're more than welcome, man. I'll drop the chat if somebody can't drop it for me. Anybody's welcome, man. We're just hanging out bullshitting.
Right,
So.
right, Bob. Sometimes I believe that's true also too, Bob. You know what I mean? Like it's only because it's Trump doing it and shit, you know what I'm saying? Rather like if it was somebody else, I think more or less people would be okay with it. Sometimes it's just look, I get it. Trump's a dick. Okay, so what? You know what I mean? Um
At least
but
he's an honest dick and he says what he's gonna fucking do.
right. Right. You
I
know
mean,
what
I
I'm
don't
saying? At
listen.
least the
This is
motherfucker
the
didn't
funniest
leave
thing, Ruben, right?
billions and billions and billions of fucking U.S. military equipment and shit in our secrets and shit like that in some other fucking country, like some fucking dummy,
And this is the
aka
thing, right?
Biden.
Regardless of where you stand, like politically, whatever, I don't agree with everything Trump says. I don't agree with everything
Right.
Trump does. But at the end of the day, the one thing I can respect about the guy is that at least when he fucking says he's gonna do something, the guy fucking does it, and at least he tries to do it.
Correct. Yeah, he
And
tries
he's
to
been
get it
saying
done.
the same shit for fucking since the 1980s. The guy's been saying his positions on the Middle East with Iran. You can go back and see resurfaced videos of him talking. The same thing he was saying back in the 80s and 90s is the same thing he's done when he's taken office as president. Nothing's changed. So all these people that claim that he's changed his position and he flip-flops and he says one thing and does another thing, no, he doesn't. He's probably one of the most consistent people I've seen that's taken that office, that's stood on the stuff that he said and spoken about over the course of the last 30 or 40 years now.
Yeah, let's
It's
give you a
because he's a
perspective.
businessman. He's giving you the perspective of a businessman, you know what I'm saying? Not as a politician, which
Yeah,
I believe right now that we need. I mean, like, fuck, look, if we keep getting all these politicians, you know what I mean? Like, what has it gotten us? Nothing, right? So here comes the businessman who actually fucking has, you know, ties with a bunch of these motherfuckers already. You know what I mean? To me, that would be a good thing. You know, like he has ties with fucking what's his name, Putin and shit, right? So, I mean, if he really wanted to, he might be able to get things done.
you know, I'll give you a layman's terms and a reality check. Trump's your fucking neighbor. Your house is on fire, and he staves your family and your house. You still hating him?
Right.
These
Yeah.
people will.
Yeah.
They'll be like, "Oh, I wish the fucking house burned down. I would have got the insurance money." That motherfucker. Like
I lost my loved ones, right?
That's how crazy these people are, Scott. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's I'm trying to give him a bit of a reality check because yeah, this stuff really doesn't touch our lives for the most part outside of, but
I
look
mean,
at it a different way.
You saw
That's
very
funny,
little. You saw very little a fight and shit with people coming forward with the whole thing that was going on between Israel and Palestine when Biden was in office. I didn't hear these people coming on here talking about, you know, how Biden was fucking Israel's puppet or how Obama was Israel's puppet. There's no such thing as Israel's puppet. They're one of our allies in the world. They're our greatest ally, or actually probably our main ally that's in the Middle East,
Right.
you know, period.
Correct.
So the fact that we want to go and help protect them and their sovereignty over there, so you don't have a tyrannical bunch of radical fucking fundamentalists that think they're carrying out the will of Allah to kill all of them and wipe them off the face of the planet. I'm sorry, but if we got to go in there and lay some bombs down and take out military action to get rid of these people, who, by the way, shouldn't even be in fucking power anyways, as far as I see it. And if anybody has a problem with that, then we're just going to have to agree to disagree. And I have no issues doing that. And if I'm wrong at the end of the day, if it turns out that what Trump and Israel and Netanyahu did by carrying out this military act turns out to be the biggest debacle in fucking military in U.S. history, then I'm gonna have to own it and say, you know what, I was on the wrong side of it. I had it all wrong. I guess I guess I'm not as smart as I thought I was, and I'll have to just eat that shit.
Right.
But at the end of the day, everything that's going on right now, the fallout that you're getting right now is based solely for political reasons and the fact that they do not like Donald Trump, and that's fucking it. Or they're some type of anti-Semitics that have a problem with Israel, because there's no other explanation as to why you guys don't understand what's going on right now in Iran and why military action was necessary. These guys have been going against the nuclear inspectors for what, 10 years now, something like that, at least since Obama's administration after he signed that deal. So Trump's first administration, then all the way through Biden's administration, now back down for seconds. On top of the fact, don't forget there was how many independent assassination attempts did the FBI and the Department of Justice foil on Donald Trump's life by the Iranian government over the past year before he got into office? How many times? I think there was half of a dozen.
Sounds right. That I didn't research, but yeah, I know it's a lot. That was another motivator.
Unknown trader, just to be a dick, I'm gonna say this.
That's
if Donald Trump said he did it on accident, then yes, I'd say okay.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
I'm just fucking around.
I just don't know. But how do you even say something like that? That's so you're basically saying that Donald Trump's going over, bombing Iran, and then then stopping the fucking war next week, and then we're supposed to sit around and thank the guy for stopping a war that the guy started. You're acting like we didn't do it for a reason or a specific purpose. You think that we just went there for no reason? You do realize that this shit has been going on for 40 fucking years now, right? 50 years now, right? This isn't something that just happened overnight when the guy came into office. You don't remember what was going on during Trump's first term? I mean, Jane was in here earlier a little while ago talking about how Netanyahu's been wanting to do this to Iran since the 1990s.
Right.
So then what is it then? You can't have it both ways.
Here's another guy. Go.
Wait, what? There was mass protest.
I'll say this. It's like, no,
it's not. Nobody didn't vote for Harris because of the Palestinian-Israel conflict. Are you serious? Kamala Harris lost because she's a fucking moron that will never be elected fucking president because she has no fucking policy. She failed miserably as her job as the fucking VP, and there was no way in a fucking snowball's chance in hell that she was ever gonna fucking win that election.
And look at what she did with the border.
Exactly, she couldn't even handle the fucking U.S. the Mexican border, let alone the fucking country. If you guys remember, I was going on multiple shows, and I never even really got into political shit, but I heard so much ridiculous shit coming out of people's mouths that I felt compelled to come on and say something about it because it was so ridiculous. When people were on here talking about Harris is going to win in a landslide, wait until the election time, she's going to win in a landslide. And I said, there's no way in hell if you think that Hillary Clinton couldn't win an election versus Trump, that Harris would ever fucking win an election versus him. If Hillary Clinton couldn't win, there's no chance she was ever going to fucking win. You can't tell me that she gained more support than fucking Hillary Clinton would have, period. And I don't care in what scenario occurred. That would never fucking happen. And I bet on that shit, that Trump was going to win that the election, whether it was Biden or Harris. There was no way either one of them was winning. Their policies for the last 4 years are half the reason why we're even in fucking the situations we're in right now in this country. If you've seen how many fucking people that these guys allowed to come into our country over the last 4 years under President Biden, you should be ashamed of yourself. Look at all the people on terrorist watch lists that were sneaking over here and coming into here. You don't think that Iran and all these countries that hate America weren't sneaking in any of these fucking cells to come over here to try to carry out acts of domestic terrorism? You really think so?
Yeah, next time you look at the news, what do you see? You see all men. I was watching the California news, and they were showing all these illegals, or they're all men. Watch something different. Broaden your perspective.
The old men, what's that?
I said they're all men. They're all men. Or watch some of these other channels, Sean Ryan, and there's several others. Bustamante, the lady who took down Osama bin Laden. There's like 2,000 combatants in this country. You think there's not cells in this country? You're insane.
Oh, they're all over the place.
Absolutely.
Listen, the FBI and DOJ foil plots by these guys on a regular basis. It just doesn't always hit the mainstream media to let people know about it.
Right. And it's not even this. It's not even people like, coming from over in the country. It's homegrown motherfuckers too.
Yeah, because they turn people. You're right. They turn people here.
You know what I mean? I think is like the number one. Is that like the number one concern right now is with the home?
Yes.
Homegrown fucking motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
Disgruntled people.
domestic terrorism has
Yeah,
been the number one
it's
threat
just called
against the
domestic.
U.S.
Yeah,
since
right.
Obama was in office, basically. Yeah.
It's
Now,
just wild.
that's what I'm saying. Now, could you imagine all the radicals and people that they have? We were talking about it last night. They had that blind guy that was in New York that was running that fucking mosque out there.
Yes.
That was carrying out all kinds of plots and shit like that. He was one of the main sleeper cells. They have him all over the place. All over.
Thank you. I think he was in Jersey City, unfortunately.
Hey, thank you very much for the donation, bro. I appreciate it, man. For some
Thank you.
reason, it's not telling me who the fuck is sending me this stuff, though. Give me
Somebody
one
else had said that they're having a problem coming up or some shit like that. I don't know if it's
they
your
did?
thing or
Tim, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for the support, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Somebody else sent something on Venmo. They sent $10. Oh, thank you very much. I know who you are. Thank you a lot, hon. I appreciate you. They want to be anonymous, but thank you. I appreciate the support very much. Thank you, guys. If you guys haven't already, if you guys can, please, if you're enjoying the show, hit that like button. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. And turn the notifications on so you guys never miss a show. If anybody does want to help support the channel, I got the information there on the ticker. Thank you guys in advance. I appreciate it. Sorry, Ruben. What were you saying, brother?
Somebody else had mentioned something about that they were having trouble either opening the cam or some shit like that, or the mic trying to come up.
Oh, is that the person that was trying to come on? What was the name of their thing? Do you remember?
I think so. Let me look back.
Oh, agnostic. I'm having the same problem as Patrick. It won't let me to turn on my microphone. What kind of phone do you have? Agnostic. You got an iPhone? You gotta go into your settings or try to open it up on if you can't open it up on Chrome, you gotta try to go up on Safari or vice versa. For some reason, there's an issue with the StreamYard. Unless you're on a computer, you can come right on. You guys on computers?
Yeah, I'm on my laptop right now.
I got my cell phone, my Android.
Oh, you're on an Android. It doesn't do that. It's only an iPhone.
No.
I'm assuming you got an iPhone, agnostic, or the other guy? Yeah, that sucks. I'd like to have people on and shit, but I don't know why it's doing that for some reason. So, do you know anything about this? Oh yeah, look, Sean said he used Safari from his iPhone.
Okay.
So maybe, I don't know. That's fucking weird. Then I don't understand.
Yeah, I have Galaxy, so I just use whatever the fuck it's on there.
Scott, I got a question for you. Are you on through the internet on your phone or through the StreamYard app?
I went through the link on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It took me through StreamYard, and then I clicked through StreamYard.
Right.
That tells me to engage my the pop-ups come and to enable my mic, enable my camera, or accept it.
Uh-huh.
And I click those, and then it takes me over to the window.
Oh, okay.
And I click through.
All right, guys, try this. If you're listening, try this. Try clearing out your internet browsing history. Like wipe it out completely, clear all your data, and then grab the link, and it'll ask you to log in, and that might start it from the fresh, and you might be good like that. Try doing that. Sometimes your cookies are shit in your cache that blocks it, like blocks pop-ups and shit.
Oh, the cache shit, yeah.
Yeah, you know how it'll block pop-ups or whatever.
Right.
So that might be stopping you from logging to hit the camera, mic, and all that shit. So try clearing out your browsing data completely, and then grabbing the link fresh, and then close out Safari, close out Chrome, and then reopen it all fresh after you clear it out. And that should try doing that. Because I'd like to have whoever wants to come on and talk about this come on and bullshit. So.
Yeah, I think Kash Patel's kind of green, but I trust Kash Patel to surround himself with people that are capable and intelligent.
Is this the one you're responding to here?
The one you had up prior. My TV's probably a little bit behind. Yes. I can't see. My eyes are fucked up.
About Kash Patel. Do you sleep well? And I think to turn the FBI into a circus. I'm just saying. I'll be honest with you. I don't really know too much about Kash Patel, to be honest, until he got appointed to that position. I really didn't know much about the guy. Do I have much faith in him? I can't say I do or I don't, because I don't know very much about the guy, to be honest with you.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't think he's doing a terrific job, to be honest, but I don't think he's doing a horrible job either. I don't think the guy's like incompetent, if that's what you're asking. I mean, What did you think Comey was any fucking better and the shit that guy was involved in? I mean, really? At the end of the day, all these people that get appointed into these positions are fucking political hires that are puppets put in there by whoever's in fucking.
Right.
So you have a problem with Cash Patel. Why? Because Trump hired him and he's fucking Middle Eastern or something? Or fucking you thought Comey was that much fucking better and none of those other guys were as corrupt as fucking these guys are? I mean, it's almost like a joke at this point if you want me to be honest completely. What's up, David? How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
What's up, David?
What's up,
Stevie B?
What up, Rob?
Hey, it's 5 minutes go 0. Oh, snap.
Hey, Rob, if you want to hop on, man, you're always welcome, brother. Pop on the show. The Patrick guys. Oh, it still won't allow you. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that. Unknown Trader says, comment, do you feel that these people in the top cabinet positions are capable of doing their jobs with the qualifications that they have? Listen, I'm not a fucking, I'm going to be honest, man. I'm not like a big political guy. I'm just talking about the Iran war right now because obviously it's a hot topic and it's a big issue right now that's going on globally. You know what I mean? So in regards to who's in what cabinet position and who's qualified to do what job, I'll be honest. I got no fucking idea. You probably know better than I do. I'd honestly take your opinion on it. If you say that, you know, you don't believe that Jared Kushner should be doing whatever the fuck his position is, or you don't think Elon Musk should have been the head of fucking Doge or whatever, like, I'll take your word for it. I really don't know, and I can't argue with you about something that I don't know anything about. So I'd be an asshole to come on here and to try to have a conversation with you or argue about something that I honestly don't know anything about. And I don't want to look like an asshole and embarrass myself by saying a bunch of shit that turns out to be wrong, and I'm not going to do that to myself. So I'll have to concede. I have to concede.
They're in a better position than I am. You know what I mean?
What's that?
They're in a better position than I am. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I could say I would go up and I could fucking do this and I could do that. If I thought I could, then I would try, but I don't. So
that's a great point too. And it's almost like, are these guys any less qualified than I am to give my opinion on it? Like, what type of fucking asshole would I have to be to tell you what somebody else's credentials are, whether or not they could fucking they could do a position that I don't know what credentials or what background or job history or degrees you need to carry out the particular positions they're in. I don't know. I never claimed to know. So I'm not going to sit up here and argue with somebody about it either. So he says Cash Patel was one of the main characters that wanted the Epstein files released. Then he blocked the release of them. Well, there was a lot of people that did that, but all right, this is my opinion on this whole thing, right? I'm going to be the first, like, I'm not even going to be the first person saying it. Maybe you guys agree, disagree, whatever. I'm fucking sick of hearing about the fucking Epstein files, and I'm going to tell you why. Everything that fucking happens is an excuse for the Epstein files. The bottom line is this. I'm using common sense, hence the name, right? That I used on here, the moniker. It's actually uncommon sense because that's even more rare than common sense. Uncommon sense means even more rare, right? Not common sense. It's beyond common sense, right? And I have to use my brains, my reason, and my logic and my experience to draw logical conclusions from information that I have. If you want me to believe that somebody like Jeffrey Epstein, right, who goes back all the way, I think it's being reported that this guy was even involved in like the Iran-Contra affair back with Oliver North and them with fucking Nicaragua and running cocaine and all that with the fucking Medellin cartel and all that. I mean, you're talking about a guy that goes all the way back to what? The early 80s, whatever, 80s, mid 80s, 90s, whatever the case may be. He's involved with all of these world leaders all over the planet, prime ministers, defense ministers, presidents, all this shit. If you believe, and you're going to tell me for 1 second that you believe that Donald Trump was involved with, directly could have been implicated or anything in any of those allegations levied against the activities and shit that Epstein was carrying out, whether it was domestically or abroad on that island or fucking anywhere else, why would they ever even let that guy get indicted to be put in a position where he could then cooperate with the government while you're the fucking president of the United States? Just think about that. Does that make sense to you? You're going to logically come back here and tell me, like, yeah, that makes sense. Why wouldn't they fucking kill the guy before it even got to that point if he was that fucking worried about it? And you're going to tell me what? Couldn't have been done? They killed the guy allegedly in a fucking prison on camera. Well, off camera, basically. But inside a secured fucking prison, the guy got whacked. You're going to tell me they couldn't have clipped him out on the street a lot easier? Or slipped him a little pill or something like that, and the guy fucking dies mysteriously like a whole bunch of other people do? Or use some type of chemical fucking weapon or any other thing and made it look like a fucking accident? You're telling me they couldn't gotten that done? I mean, come on.
It's insane.
It's
in 4 years.
And then you want to turn around. The same people want to turn around and say, "Oh, Trump going down into Venezuela and taking out Maduro, who's not only helping fund terrorism out in the Middle East by providing Iran and all these people with shit that directly violates the sanctions, but he's also going out and supplying them to China and these other places." Rob Jean, what's up, cuz?
Hold on 1 second. I think I'm gonna echo you. Hold on.
Oh, you're good right now.
Yeah, you're loud and clear.
You guys hear?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Nah, perfect. What's up, boys? How's everything?
Not bad, man. We're just bullshitting about the stuff that's going on. I was just finishing up. I just wanted to finish up this one little point I was talking about with this whole Epstein file shit. Every single time.
Yeah, I want to jump in after that.
Yeah, every single time something happens lately, oh, it's a cover-up for the Epstein files. We went and took out Maduro, who was a fucking narco trafficker, documented on fucking paper, no questions about it. He'll have his day in trial, right? Oh, that's Epstein files. They go and they take out the leader of fucking CJNG, El Mencho, who's been on the FBI's most wanted list for fucking 15 years. Oh, yeah. That's the fucking cover-up for the Epstein files. They go and they fucking carry out a military operation in Iran backed by Israel. Oh, that's because Netanyahu and Israel got the dirt on Trump. They're blackmailing him. That's all a cover-up from the fucking Epstein files. Like, come on, are you guys fucking serious right now? You can't be serious.
Common sense. This is how little they think of the American people. A guy killed himself in a jail where there is no possible way for you to kill yourself. They were better off letting him go and taking him out on the street, because they completely played with our integrity and our common sense, no pun intended, to say that this guy killed himself. And there's no camera footage.
No, they just and you know the
no camera footage, 24-hour watch. You know what I mean? Like nobody walks by. Like even in jail, they do it. Every hour they fucking come in and they walk through the dorms, the cells. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
They feed us what they want us to believe, and they expect us to swallow it and they digest it. That's it.
Well, that's the thing, you know. Listen, at the end of the day, did you guys see the deposition that Clinton gave to Congress the other day in regards to the whole Epstein shit?
Yes.
So the people asking Clinton while he was up there, while he sat next to two of his attorneys, you know, what do you think happened to Epstein or whatever? Do you think that he's dead? Do you think he committed suicide? Whatever. This was the former president of the United States, who was obviously a longtime affiliate and associate and close friend with fucking Epstein, traveled the fucking world with the guy, etc. It's all documented, photos, videos. He doesn't even deny it. He can't deny it, right? They ask him, what do you think happened to Epstein? And he says, I think the guy's dead. I think he committed suicide or whatever. I know exactly what everybody else knows. I don't know anything different than anything that you guys know, right? We all only know the information that we're given. What else may be the actual truth? He's even saying, I can't prove it and neither can you. So basically, what the fuck are we talking about right now? Right? Now, his attorney tells him, don't say anything else. Please shut up. And Bill Clinton can't help himself. He then goes and he says, I think what happened is, I guess the guy just got caught, right? Now, Clinton's saying he doesn't know anything about Epstein. He didn't know about this alleged blackmail or his role in any of these intelligence agencies, because they believe Clinton might have been one of his targets, right? For blackmailing, etc. And he kind of chuckles and laughs about it, says, well, if that's the case, I really didn't know anything about it. And I guess the Secret Service and none of these other people did either, right? So now we have to turn around and say, okay, well, Clinton just said, I guess eventually the guy got caught. So he's basically admitting, well, what did he get caught doing? Well, he got caught doing exactly what the fuck we thought the guy was doing.
Exactly. What else is he in charge with?
You know what I mean? Now, You want us to sit around and turn around and say that anybody that's on this alleged list with Epstein is automatically, you know, guilty or put into this box that they too must have been involved doing this nefarious shit with the fucking kids without any proof, by the way, right? Now, I talked about it earlier for the people that are just coming in. They claim, now this was going on, I watched it on CNN. These quote unquote experts claim that the reason they know that Trump is guilty and that Netanyahu and Israel is blackmailing Trump to carry out their military operations because they have this shit on him from the Epstein files is due to an email that somebody uncovered during one of the last Epstein files drops, right? Now, the email is in 2011, and it's from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Now, this is in 2011. What did he get convicted of that solicitation of a minor in 08 or 09, something like that?
Yeah, 08, 09, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay. So he's already convicted. We got a convicted Chomo, basically, talking to another convicted, now Chomo, right? And this is supposed to be, what, a credible source of information? They're going back and forth in an email saying, I don't understand why Donald Trump's name isn't showing up in any of these cases and information that's the indictments that he has coming down his pipe, right? Because he knows what the fuck is coming, right? And he's telling Ghislaine Maxwell, he was at my house with one of these victims for hours, right? Now, the victim that they're talking about is that girl, Virginia Giuffre, the one that committed and took herself out about a year ago.
Mhm.
She wrote the book. She wrote a book and released it after her death, probably predicting that this shit was going to happen. I think she even talks about it in some of her journals that they were going to take her out. She says under oath on several times that, yes, I know Donald Trump. I worked for him at Mar-a-Lago. My father also worked there. That's where I met Jeffrey Epstein, where he solicited me. And it was also told that Donald Trump asked Jeffrey Epstein to leave the Mar-a-Lago presidency, and he wasn't welcome back there, right? That's
because
where
of homegirl.
Yeah. Now, people are coming out and they're saying, oh, that's all a lie. Trump never asked Epstein and told him that he wasn't welcome back at Mar-a-Lago, this and that.
Then why didn't she say anything bad about Trump in her book that he did anything to her?
Why didn't the father?
Well, not only that, but this is the funniest thing, right? Mar-a-Lago isn't a public fucking place. It's members only. You can't go to Mar-a-Lago unless you're a fucking member and hang out on the premises and be involved in the utilities and amenities and shit at the fucking place. It's a private club. So, first of all, the people that are saying this shit also don't know what they're talking about because he absolutely did ask him to leave and kick them out and revoke the guy's membership, which is why he was never seen there ever again. All right? That's the first lie that they tell. Second, we'll get to Rob's point, is that how come she never implicates Trump in any of the shit that happened to her? She implicates Prince Andrew. She implicates the ex, what was it, the defense minister in Israel, that for Farouk guy, whatever the fuck his name was. She said that he was one of the most vicious animals that this guy's ever put her into contact with, and he damn near killed her in a hotel one day. All right.
Wasn't it the dad that went to him and had told him what was going on?
Who's
Trump
that?
went to Trump.
Well, it was women at the club that told me. Yeah, the women, the girls that were getting solicited by Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein reported to Trump that this is what fucking Epstein was doing to the staff that was working there, the higher ups. They went and reported it to Trump, and then when Trump found out about it, the first time he said he warned Epstein. Then the second time that it happened, he kicked him out of there and told him he was no longer welcome and revoked his membership there. So
right now he's being used as a patsy, honestly, because they throw his name in there because he's the president and this guy's been around them a bunch of times because they're both in high society. Not every one of them's a bad guy, and I don't think Trump is one of them.
I don't either, and I'll go to my grave unless something comes out as actual evidence, not fucking hearsay or some story from 40 years ago about some bullshit that the guy has not ever and did not ever do anything to any fucking child or young girl. That's fucking bullshit. I don't buy that.
What's up, Smokey? And yo, listen, for CS, for facts, the girl would have dropped his name. She was gone. Why wouldn't she put that out there?
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
There's no excuse. There is no excuse.
Not only did the Virginia Giuffre girl not say anything, but none of the other accusers that came out and accused the guy implicated him either. The only one that there was several years ago. There was that one girl that filed some claim or something like that was unfounded, and she filed it under a pseudonym, not even under her real name. And when it came time to press the issue to really go out and fucking testify on and do that, she refused to do it and dropped it. You know what I mean?
People forgetting
didn't she back off?
4 years that they fucking went in and out of not just Trump, but his whole entire fucking family, his kids, his wife, everything, and nothing.
Yeah, they went through everything.
4 fucking years.
Yeah, nothing.
I just feel like they're using him because of the high profileness.
Well, you
almost deaf.
Well, here's the other thing, right? Is that, you know, people don't understand this thing either. Before Trump ran for office, he was a lifelong fucking Democrat. He switched political parties before he ran for office.
You are correct.
Trump was one of the biggest donors with the fucking Clintons. He was friends and canoodled with all of them. They used to be friendly and go to parties together and events and socialize and do all that shit. They had no problem with one another.
Did his daughter get married on one of Trump's properties?
Yes.
I know that for a fact. There's one of his daughters got married on Trump's properties in Clinton. Chelsea Clinton.
What up, Smoke? What's up, Mo? How you guys doing today?
Hey, what's up, Marie?
Hey, Smokey. Hey, Mo.
I wanted to read. There was a comment somebody said I wanted to answer to that I lost now. I don't know where the fuck it went. Oh, our information is being suppressed by the administration. What fucking information? Just because you want some information to come out, it means it's being suppressed? I got a question for you. What do you think happens under every administration? Just a stupid question. You don't think?
No, I think they're just saying that as a contradictory way of saying it.
It's
and
like
information is being suppressed by the administration. Yeah, I agree with.
100%. Just like every administration suppresses evidence.
Right.
I'll give you one big one. You ready? The Hunter Biden laptop.
Fuck, man, Jesus Christ!
I mean,
right?
They admitted after Biden realized that he dropped out of the fucking race and that Harris was going to lose the election, they came out and finally admitted that, oh no, the laptop was real. It wasn't Russian disinformation like they lied to people for fucking 4 years and wanted people on the left to believe. I knew this shit was fucking real. I didn't need them to come out to fucking tell me that that's what happened. That a blind guy, a legally blind guy at a computer store had 2 hard drives that were signed with the fucking president's son's name on it that had pictures of him smoking crack and banging fucking crack.
Yes.
Lockup wasn't real.
What do you mean, common sense? That's no big deal. That's not a big deal.
It's not, it's all good. You know, especially when you're the president's kid.
Fine.
You know, and then they were talking about, all this Russian oligarchs and money and this and that, and he wasn't banging out no Russian bitches and whatever the fuck.
He was on fucking video in one of the videos that I seen that got leaked originally. He was on video showing people how to cook crack in a fucking mayonnaise jar with the fucking prostitute in the fucking room with a gun.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
he was weighing out an ounce of fucking hard on a scale in a fucking hotel room, talking about how all of it didn't come back. This is it. Now, don't forget
how he lost weight on it.
Yeah, don't forget. Remember, did you ever see the pictures of his fucking teeth? He smoked his teeth like a fucking basehead, bro. There was pictures of it in the home.
That's crazy.
Did you ever see it?
No.
Oh, let me pull this up.
I never seen his teeth.
It's still got to be online. This is some of the wildest shit I've ever seen. Now, people were claiming that this was all AI done by the fucking Russians and all this. Like, people are thick.
Yeah, it's no biggie. Hunter's a good dude, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Common. That dude's he's a tight ass motherfucker, bro.
Yeah. Real good fucking stand up guy.
4 years looking at fucking Trump and his family, but this motherfucker right here wasn't even trying to hide shit.
I'll give you one better. Did you ever read any of the text messages, the group chats that were between Hunter, his father, his stepmother, the niece, and his brother's the wife there that he fucking.
And I heard they were blatant. I heard they weren't even cold. They were blatant.
Bro, the guy was fucking doing all kinds of weird shit in front of his dead brother's fucking daughter. like walking around naked
Yes.
at the fucking house and trying to like take showers with her and shit like that. And these guys were all trying to, oh, that stuff wasn't real. Fucking the president, not at the time, but he was the vice president at the time. Biden is telling the family that they don't want Hunter around the fucking the niece anymore because of the
niece.
shit
Right.
that he's fucking doing.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this fucking scumbag, the brother dies from fucking cancer. He starts
Yeah.
dating his brother's deceased fucking widow and gets
And
her
his
hooked on
fucking-
crack. Yeah, these are the
Man.
people that we're talking about.
Wait, that's true. He got the
Yeah.
sister-in-law
Yeah.
on crack.
Yeah.
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 I didn't know that.
All that shit was in the fucking. All of that shit was in the fucking
people,
computer,
bro?
bro. It was text messages
What's the,
from their
between
number.
the Clintons and the Bidens,
Right.
bro? They must be the evilest people in the world.
Right.
Who?
But that's all good. We're all gonna ignore that shit, right? And
Yo,
and
you
still
see
go
how
look
that
at
little girl? Yo, you know how
others.
comfortable I felt watching the video of that little girl pulling away from Biden when he was president
When
on
you're trying to
stage?
sniff her and shit.
Yeah, like trying to sniff him
God,
out. That was
man.
uncomfortable.
It's
She
And you
was
see,
cringeworthy.
like the
He
was-
lady, the handler, was trying to come and like get in
Yeah,
between. She was
him
trying to
away.
stop it. Yeah, man. That
Oh,
shit's fucked up, bro.
Look at this.
Come
That's
on.
Hunter. That's Hunter Pipes. This was one of the pictures from the fucking laptop with the crack pipe right there.
And that's not AI because they would have did it better.
Yeah. This is just look at his. He fucking smoked his teeth right here. Look at him. This is from his crack smoking. Look at his teeth, bro. This was him before he got his teeth
That's my
done.
boy
See
right
it?
there.
Looks like Mike Francis's brother.
Yeah, that's fucking John Francis right there.
Francis's brother right there.
Yeah. But I'm saying they had fucking literal videos of this guy with fucking whores and fucking hotel rooms
Yeah.
smoking crack. And
Yeah,
fucking had his gun
crazy
there.
stuff.
Don't forget, he gets indicted. He gets indicted for lying on the federal gun forms and gets convicted in a court of law. And then the father fucking pardons him. Now, could you imagine if fucking Trump did that shit?
Oh, forget it.
Is that not a conflict of interest?
Yes, 1000% for you or I. It is.
He could pardon whoever the fuck he wants, unfortunately. And this is another thing.
Yeah, I
This is
guess.
something funny. I've heard these fucking analysts and people and shit on here say that they were talking about the people that that Trump pardoned or whatever. The fucking January 6th people. I guess one of them just got. We were talking about it yesterday. One of the guys got arrested or something for some pedo shit or something like that. So they're trying to turn it into fucking. Oh look, Trump. The MAGA people, the January 6th guy, he pardoned the pedophile, and it's like, no.
Right.
He pardoned the guys from January 6th because they didn't get fucking due process. The guy just turned out to be a fucking pedo. That has nothing to do with him. It just happened to be the guy's a fucking scumbag weirdo. I mean, well, you know.
Right, and then they want to talk about how he's racist and I got family members that are coming here now that never had the chance to.
That never what?
that
Trump
never
being
That never
Trump
had
being racist. Trump is in like almost every fucking rap fucking video.
Yeah,
you
remember
know,
that?
rap
Remember
song.
that?
You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out
That's
of
why
here.
I love watching those big black dudes all juiced up for Trump. They're the best. And Candace Owens, I love
Yeah,
her.
man. It's
Yeah.
just funny when I hear that shit.
But it's like, you know, like I have a Mexican guy that worked for me. He's like, we got beat by the cartels twice for $10,000 each, and then my brother died at the bottom of a semi truck. So it cost us $40,000. $40,000, and I lost my brother getting here from Mexico. You know, like it's but they're mad about the people coming in now.
Sure.
Right.
You know, it's just we're New Yorkers. I don't see race, color, none of that. I have to speak Afghani, so there's nothing around it. But you know, you gotta. We're New Yorkers.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a big difference. People get like not racism, but like I'm so not even associated. What the fuck is the word for? Oh, like prejudice. There's a difference between prejudice and fucking racism. A very
Right.
big
Big time.
difference. I think everybody, I don't care who you are, got a little bit of prejudice in them.
Has some
No matter
prejudice,
where you're.
yeah.
But there's a very big difference and big distinction between somebody that's prejudiced and somebody that's racist.
But you know,
Hey.
like there's a lot of prejudice. Yeah, but there's a lot of prejudice like in the Spanish community because my Ecuadorians don't like working with the Mexicans. The Puerto Ricans don't
Oh,
like any of them.
Yeah,
You know,
that's what I mean. It goes for everybody, like universally. Like that's
the
just
Sicilians and the Napolitans hate each other at work. It's nuts.
yeah, or the Calabrians and the fucking
Oh, forget it. It's like, come on, guys. Are you kidding me? You guys
Right.
came here, you don't even remember where you're from.
So that's that. You know, people throw around that racist shit fucking way too loosely and use that as like cover or fodder for fucking bullshit that they
We
can't
work for
explain.
devices.
But that's their what do you call it? Their wild card. You know, let me throw the racism thing out there.
Yeah, when the chomo shit doesn't work, then they call you a racist when they're left with it when nobody's buying the other one.
Right.
Seriously, you guys remember back when? Now this is something crazy. You guys remember when all the like the WikiLeaks shit was going on and that QAnon
Yeah.
group was out
Yeah.
leaking all this alleged shit that was going on with the government? This was during the Obama administration, right? Now, remember when they came out, the QAnon people, with the story about the Pizzagate with the Democratic Party being involved with all this good
Yes.
shit, and everybody said, "Oh, these guys are fucking crazy. They're crackpot conspiracy theorists." Well, it looks like people need to turn around and give that a second look because it looks like somebody owes
Right.
those motherfuckers an apology, if you ask me. Because all the people that were involved with Epstein were all the fucking Democrats that were all involved with this fucking pedo shit. So maybe they had now. If you go and you look at the Epstein files, because I've been skimming through some of them. Obviously, I'm not that far deep into it because I really don't care because I think it's a lot of it's bullshit. But if you read a lot of these messages, because you can use AI, they actually have an app now where you can go and skim through and type in keyword searches and it'll break down and give you all the emails with these keywords and shit like that, like you're doing a Google word search. If you look in the emails between Epstein and a bunch of these other fucking people, they're talking about pizza parties and beef jerky and fucking certain types of like foods and shit like that as like code words and shit like that. So there might be a lot more to it on the surface than it seemed like. And these people were getting discredited, called conspiracy theorists, and it turns out they might have been telling the truth.
Well, you
As
go to
sick
the
as-
FBI, you go to the FBI's site and stuff. You know what I mean? They have and go to like the pedo talk or whatever the fuck that shit is. They have a list of shit. You know what I mean? Not only that, but things that, how would you say, like designs or whatever the fuck that they use. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Code
yeah,
word.
yeah.
Yeah, you can go there and actually, dude. I tell all my friends that have kids and shit, go look at that shit because you never know. Like when you're looking at your kid, whatever, whoever the fuck they're talking to on the YouTubes or whatever the fuck, you
Yeah.
know, when they're mentioning that shit, like they might not just be mentioning some fucking hot dog pizza bullshit. You know what I mean? Like for real though, go look at that shit, man. That's real.
No, it's true. They use
If you dig,
That's from
if
the
you
FBI.
dig, you'll find.
on clothing and shit too. They put that shit on clothing, like
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's fucked up, man.
Why?
It's sick when you think about it.
Mhm.
I just wanted to comment. You see this comment here? Joe Biden's daughter said some weird stuff about her dad. Yeah, to be fair though,
Oh yeah, I heard about that too.
yeah, to be fair, she made a comment saying that he did something like inappropriate, like with showers at a certain age. But she said that some of the stuff in the diary had been, I guess, forged or taken out of context. She never like really specified what it was, but she did say there was like something inappropriate regarding showers and how old she was. But I don't know if there's ever like any more details that came out about it.
Yeah,
I just
that's
like
if
to be fair.
Joe
I'm not
got to her.
shit, you know?
Yeah, that's if the Joe Biden got to her.
Yeah, right.
And mommy
And
dearest out.
Well, here's the other
Thanks,
thing.
Sandy
You know the
Green.
story
Thank you,
about her,
brother.
right?
What was that, pal?
You know the story about her, right?
With who? With Biden's daughter or Jill?
No, Biden's wife, Jill.
And what about her?
She was the fucking 18-year-old babysitter, nanny.
Shut up.
Yeah, his first wife died. His first wife and kid died in a fucking
Oh
car.
shit!
Are you
That was
serious?
the fucking 18-year-old nanny and shit. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I remember. I heard him talking about that at the funeral. That he wasn't supposed to talk to.
I knew he lost a daughter, but I thought he lost a daughter with Jill.
No, that was with his wife, his
Wife,
first
daughter.
wife, with the mother of his kids.
Wow.
Yeah,
So that's his second wife.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She was the nanny. I'm pretty sure.
Did she work? Did the ex-wife work for the Clintons?
Probably.
Just asking for a friend.
Knowing them, fucking probably.
Asking for a friend.
Oh yeah, that is true too. Did you see that shit in the news? Her ex-husband just wound up killing his wife like a fucking month ago, a couple weeks ago. He fucking took her out.
And then did you? Oh wait, did you hear the create? This is conspiracy. But did you hear the whole thing about Natalie Holloway getting caught up in the Epstein thing? That she got actually kidnapped and brought to an island. That remember that girl Natalie Holloway?
Yeah, that was in Aruba.
Yeah, went away with a family in Aruba. Supposedly, somehow, somebody said on one of these crazy things that she was actually picked up and put on an island somewhere by Epstein.
Oh yeah, that's not true. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I know. But imagine how crazy these people reach just for a story.
Oh, that was like an actual like story that was trending on here.
Yeah, it was on like TikTok or whatever. You know,
Oh,
these.
yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That's the shit that I hate about this fucking internet, social media shit. There's no like oversight to any of it, and it's
No.
crazy. There's this one guy. Have you ever seen him? His name is like Cash Jordan. He keeps popping up in my feed. He's got like
Or
1 million, 2 million subscribers, and he puts out nothing but bullshit fucking videos and AI shit, and it's all just garbage trash that he just makes up.
Well, it's like that other guy, Joya. What the? I don't even get his thing. I see snippets. They're 13 seconds long on freaking
correct.
on freaking TikTok, and he makes no sense.
So Joe Biden wasn't the fucking nanny or the fucking babysitter for the kids. That's not true.
No, I just looked it up, bro. Yeah, that's incorrect. So that Jill is not the babysitter.
Oh, it wasn't.
So
who
Maureen is
was the
correct.
fucking nanny then that the guy was with supposedly?
I don't know. It said that they had met through his brother Joe in 1975, though.
Did he lose his daughter though?
I didn't read that part. My bad.
No,
I think
fine. It's not
the
to know. I
daughter,
heard something about a daughter being lost. I didn't know if that was true.
Oh, all right, yeah. So that's not incorrect. That's incorrect. My apologies about that. Yeah. See, that's the problem with this shit on the fucking social media stuff. You know.
Yeah, you don't know what to believe.
I don't know what to believe. I saw something. I thought it was from a credible source or somebody I watched. I thought it was true. So I don't know. But thank you for correcting that. Then thank you, Maureen. Yeah.
Thank you,
see,
Maureen.
it's shit like that. Like I would have. If she didn't correct me right there, I would have said it again. Probably look like an asshole.
Tony Pizza said his family owns Aruba. Which side? The Dutch or the other one? It's crazy.
Yes,
he
he
did
lost
lose
his
his
wife
first
and
wife
child
like
on
an
Christmas.
accident, though, right?
Okay, yeah, and then
What was that? Yes.
I'm saying the first wife died in an accident, though, right? That part is true, right?
And
I
a
don't know. I
child
thought it was a daughter.
lost a wife and a child on Christmas Eve in a bad car accident.
Oh, he did.
A wife and a daughter, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So they had fucking part of the story right, and the other part was bullshit. Though.
Right.
Oh, Mo said it right here. My bad. I wasn't looking at the thing. Well, not on Christmas Eve, December 18th. No. Oh, okay. What a fucking mess. Pizza said his family owns Aruba.
Pizza is Aruba.
That's so much. He's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right? That
I
guy.
can't believe the motherfucker's still around, bro. What a nut.
bro, they are a mess. I mean, look what they did to fucking Jesse Jackson's funeral. They were all asked not to be political. And all
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah. That was all Reverend Al.
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh, yeah.
You guys saw it? I didn't get to see it.
So some of it.
But
What
I'll
were
say the
what were they
story
saying?
again. The kid that stabbed him at the 18th Avenue feast, he helped him get out early out of jail.
Oh, yeah?
Right. Yeah, it was a friend of my cousin. He stabbed him at the 18th Avenue, whatever, when they were doing that thing for Yusef Hawkins. And
right.
he got stabbed, and the kid was my his cousin, and he actually helped him get out early. He actually stayed in contact with him, and he did the right thing by him. And he stabbed him.
No shit.
And he wound up helping him out. So that was a stand-up thing I thought he did.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
gotta at least respect that shit, right?
But you know Al's hood because he took a knife. Didn't he kill somebody too?
I think
What's his
so.
name? Don King did. Al might have too.
Oh yeah, Don King did. Yeah, that's right.
No, you're talking about Sharpton, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Yeah,
that.
he did. He did something. I know Don King was a fucking scumbag too his whole life, but Sharpton was definitely. He was like he was working for the feds or something too at one point too, wasn't he?
Yep.
I heard about that. Casey, what's up, man? Good to see you. You said if we go hard, boots on the ground, we need to control. It's a hard thing to do. When at the end of the deployment we go home, Iranians want change. They're stuck there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's the problem, is that that's why they're not going to accept anybody just to take over that fucking regime in place. They just put the son up there, and then they went and blew up the building he was in earlier this morning. So
Yeah.
that's a clear message to let these guys know, you better pick somebody fucking, we want,
Who
and
do you
get rid of
think's
these
going
guys.
in there? Bad guys are going in there. That's who's going in there.
Listen, I honestly don't believe that we'll ever be able to get full control down there unless we put boots on the ground. Unfortunately, I just don't see it.
I don't think so either.
It's like it's almost going to get to the point where it's a necessary evil, because you're not going to be able to fucking control that area and them people without it. There's just too much of a history and too much religious fucking fanaticism and shit like that in order for those people to just turn around. Like, if you're expecting that to happen, you got another thing coming. I think eventually what will happen is they'll wind up settling for somebody that they can at least possibly, rein in or control for a certain amount of time. And then 5 or 10 years down the road from now, we're going to be back doing the same shit we're doing right now.
Yeah, sooner than that, because they kidnap family members, they do some crazy stuff. They don't care. Don't care about
that's the worst case scenario,
and you put boots on the ground. We go in there, we eradicate them like we did in the ocean and the sky and everything else. And then what happens? It's a fight over who can control the person in control there. Then we got to deal with Russia or China or whoever. It's always going to be something. It's not going to go away easy.
Right.
But at the end of the day, listen, as long as we've deterred them from establishing or ever getting their hands on, nuclear fucking weapons and shit, then we can secure the peace and the safety of our allies in the fucking region, then so be it. Unfortunately, I understand that people are upset that fucking we're obviously engaged in another conflict overseas, but these guys shouldn't have fucking gotten to the point they were at today.
Listen, if they would have got nukes, they would have used them. Trust me.
They basically
Right.
said it. They basically said it the other day. As far as I'm concerned, the president of the country admitted this shit.
And they don't have to do a bomb, you know what I mean? They could do a fucking suitcase or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
they could do anything.
Right.
Well, I did want to clear up one thing.
I'm sorry, missile. I meant a missile.
Yeah, I did want to clear up one thing from the show from yesterday. I did want to say, because you know how these people are on here, they want to fucking, they'll pick apart everything you said, like, oh, they said this, they were wrong about it. So I hate that you even have to do that. It's so stupid. But yesterday on the show, I was talking about how the Iranians, came up with this really brilliant strategic plan to use these $30,000 drones to basically exert financial pressure on U.S. and Israel because of the cost of the Patriot missiles and defense systems in order to
shoot them down.
Yeah, to shoot them down. It cost them about $1 million a piece on average to shoot down a $30,000, $40,000 drone that these Iranians had. And that was genius when they came up with that. However, what I didn't say, I didn't think I would need to, but somebody made a comment, so I will explain this. I said it was genius that they came up with a plan to make these drones that only cost a fraction of the missiles that it cost to shoot these things down. In a war of attrition, they would have fucking won. However, what happened is, thankfully, due to the war in fucking Ukraine, the drones that were being used by Russia and Ukraine for the last 5 years were all supplied by Iran. Well, guess what? Guess what happened over the last 5 years? We captured about 14 different types of drones that the Russians used throughout Ukraine over the last 5 years.
Yeah, we got a bunch of Chinese ones too.
Yeah, and what we did is we took them back to the U.S. We took them back to bases, and we took them all apart and re-engineered them basically to figure out exactly how they work. And now we have $10,000 anti-drones that cost us $10,000 in order to take down the $30,000 drones. So what they planned on doing with the money, costing us X amount to shoot down these drones with our expensive missiles, they didn't plan on us re-engineering how they build these fucking drones and coming up with a counter strategy. Now it only costs us $10,000 to take out a $30,000 drone. So now we have the fucking upper hand on them. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you ever see those machine guns they have on those boats that fight the planes? Those things let off like 30,000 rounds.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're crazy.
And they follow and trace the plane until they hit it.
Yeah, those are like they're called like the arms or something, like AARMS or something like that.
It looks like a bulb kind of thing, and it just moves around and just lets hell loose.
Well, did you see the fucking they're using like Star Trek, like Star Wars type weapons right now. It's honestly like an advertisement for the military industrial complex because they're using the have you seen the laser fucking defense systems they got now?
Yes.
They're
The
they got
brick
lasers
box.
that are shooting fucking drones and missiles out of the sky over in Israel and
Yeah,
shit.
we're scrambling them and everything. We're taking
Yeah.
control of missiles with other missiles.
Yeah, they got direct energy weapons now, and these other ones that are they're sonar based too, where they send out sound waves that cripple people.
Right.
Basically.
They were sending out the ones that were doing it to the drones and making the drones crash land in the water.
Yep, they just drop them out of the sky like fucking birds, just out of
And
nowhere.
they're still using that Warthog plane, that thing that sounds like
A-10 Warthog.
Yeah, that big
Tank
machine
killers.
gun.
Tank
One of the
busters,
guys, one of the guys I ride Harleys with, he used to fly one of those. He,
Oh, you right?
Warhawk? The fighter jet?
Yeah, Warhawk, yeah, Warhawks, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Flew one of those things with that big machine gun on the front, and he said the noise alone would just scare you inside the plane. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that should rattle you to the core when you hear that. I like watching the videos on YouTube. That they're fucking crazy.
Hyped up.
I just saw one where somebody in Tel Aviv was filming off one of their high rise off their balconies at their condos, and they were filming a synagogue that Iran let off their new hypersonic Fatah 2 missile. Bro, this shit must have been the scariest shit in the world for these people to be standing next to the way that this thing came in.
It goes, there's a lot of people taking those videos.
15. Mach 15.
Mach 15. Wow.
Yeah. 15 times the speed of sound this fucking missile travels at. You can't do anything once it's fucking in your airspace.
How do you shoot that down?
No, you can't. There's nothing you can fucking do to it right now. And they're using those in fucking Israel right now. So now just imagine if those motherfuckers had nuclear weapons and fucking warheads on those
they'd be letting loose. They'd be letting loose.
You don't think the motherfuckers will be using them right now? Like, come on. So I'm sick and tired of hearing fucking people crying about the shit that's going on right now. At the end of the day, I stand on this. I think it was the best thing moving forward, and hopefully for peace in the Middle East, and the Iranian people can get their country back and maybe get some form of democracy and something, moving forward, not only for the people, but for the women, the girls growing up and shit like that. And then being up in arms about girls at a school that got blown up during a fucking course of work. You think we really did that on purpose? Like, come on. I wouldn't be surprised if those motherfuckers
did it.
Blew it up themselves.
Did it. Yep.
I said the same thing. You got to remember.
We're so precise. We don't go with hitting their schools and stuff like that. We're precise with the way we bomb.
Yeah, and they're going to investigate what that fucking
right.
What that,
there's always casualties.
They'll be able to track and find out what coordinates if it was supposed to get hit. How come it didn't? Because like Rob was just saying, our GPS and our honing systems and shit like that for accuracy are very, very, very fucking accurate.
Look what we did to that guy in Venezuela. We got him with missiles without a problem. Even the guys in Iran.
Oh yeah,
we killed them without a problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised for 1 second if those fucking Iranians blew up that fucking place themselves just to fucking try to turn it back on America.
Right.
I just can't. They went at United Emirates and bombed our base there and our other bases in certain spots. That showed how
12 different countries they fucking bombed right away.
Yeah, that shows how desperate they were.
Well, if you saw the video the other day, Rubio was speaking in front of Congress, and basically what he was saying is that Israel, based on their intelligence and information they had, told the U.S. basically that they were going to strike Iran regardless whether we were going to help them or not. And the reason why we went in there and did a preemptive strike before Israel carried out the mission is because they knew that Iran's response was going to be to go and send out bombs to all of our military bases within arm's reach. So they figured that if Israel was going to go in there and carry out a military action, we were going to pay for it anyways because they were going to retaliate by bombing us. So we went in there and fucking did it preemptively anyways to fucking to take that deterrent out. And we moved a lot of our military assets outside of the arm's reach of their missiles and shit like that, and drones that they have out there. So
look for that president to say, hey, look, sorry, we're bombing your fucking country because the U.S. has some military. I'd be like, fuck you, motherfucker. Like, you're not gonna bomb our country just because these assholes got some fucking military base over here. Fuck you, go suck a dick.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fuck that.
Well, how come they aren't taking responsibility for their own fucking actions and shit that they're doing? All they had to do
You
for the
don't think
last
that's gonna
2
have
months-
casualties of fucking war neither? I mean, bombing fucking U.S. military bullshit. You don't think that's gonna kill some of them country peoples? Come on.
Oh no,
Get
yeah,
out.
they already the Saudis and Pakistan and them or India or whatever. I think they already told them fucking straight up, like you better re-examine your war strategy and your
Right.
miscalculations, or you're gonna leave us no choice but to respond. So
Right.
I know they shot down the Saudis shot down 3 missiles that came into their airspace. They intercepted them, but they're fucking pissed right now and basically told them that they were gonna stay out of it, but they're gonna leave them no choice if they're gonna continue to try to fucking bomb places in their country. So
And these are bases that have been fucking there for years and years and years. It's not like we just fucking popped them up yesterday.
oh no, that's the thing too, is that and the other people are coming forward saying that Russia is providing them intel and information on our military assets in the area.
So be it.
Okay, and they're
So,
fucking military bases that are stationed here. They don't know that.
it's not like it's a fucking inconspicuous and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like shit.
Even the warships and carriers and shit like that they know they're giving information on. It don't matter. The fucking Iranians can't reach any of them. We put them there for a fucking reason. So
Yeah,
they can give them whatever fucking information they got. It's not going to do anything.
Right.
As long as they don't start launching, missiles and fucking drones directly from them, that'd be an overt act of war right there. That'd be a problem.
Well, that's what I would think. Like, okay, bombing another country because the United States has a base over there. We also have embassies in fucking a bunch of fucking countries. You're gonna bomb them because we have embassies? Get the fuck out of here. To me, that's an act of war on those countries.
Yeah, it'll be taken like that too if they find out that anything's coming from any of them other places. You better believe that.
You know what I mean?
I give it. What's today? March fucking what?
9.
March 9th. I'll give it till maybe the first week of April. Hopefully this thing will be fucking close to under wraps by then at the latest. We'll see though. I mean, these Iranians fucking got a strong will and fucking testament behind them,
Yeah, they're not easy to push over.
No, and they have a long fucking history. And listen, they're a very prosperous people. They're very smart, very intelligent. You know what I mean? They're good people at heart. But the problem is that they got these fucking animals that seize power over there, and
Right, and they deserve the right to live. They deserve, and we're helping them get that. So I hope that people understand that. Certain people just want to blame Trump for everything that's going on. No, this was a necessity.
Hey, what's up, Kurt Gerber, Joe Pastor? How you guys doing? Good to see you guys, man. Thanks for stopping by today.
What's up,
If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button if you enjoy this show, this content over here. If anybody would like to help support the channel, it'd be much appreciated. I got it at the bottom of the ticker. Thank you guys very much for stopping by today. Good to see all you guys.
I put a PSA about incorrect information earlier in the chat, so just to let you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it. Not because these people that fucking they'll sit here and they'll listen to the whole fucking show, and then I'll get a message that somebody made a clip like, "Oh, he said this is fucking going on right now and it's wrong." I got to deal with that later. But yeah, that usual YouTube bullshit for these fucking.
I put a PSA. Look, we try to put out as close to the truth as possible. You know what I mean? So.
There'll be a clip about the Biden comment that I made that I apologize.
Right.
You already know that.
That's 100%, yes.
Well, check it out, fellas. I'm gonna drop down Common.
All right, Ruben.
Wait, Rube.
Hey, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Peace.
Yep,
Peace.
take care, man. We'll see you soon, brother.
Later, cuz.
So what's new, Rob? How you feeling, man? How's everything going with everything you're dealing with?
I'm hanging in there. I still got some time to heal, but that's why I'm able to catch him late, because I'm not going to sleep at 9 o'clock.
I got Fieg's not working and shit.
Yeah, I can't. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to sit. It's hard to do anything. So I said, let me on. I see you. You were chopping it up.
Yeah, what happened exactly, Rob? Because I didn't catch the whole story. What happened? Take care, Ruben.
I slipped and fell off a silo 25 feet onto a metal steel box and then onto 10 feet onto concrete. So when I
Oh
hit the
my God.
box, it broke my ribs and punctured my lung. And then when I fell into the concrete, it broke my coccyx bones, your tailbones.
Your tailbone?
Yeah, so I broke those. So both two things you can't cast, you know?
Oh my God, man. And you
Yeah,
punctured your fucking lung?
yeah, I punctured the lung. I hit the point of the steel box. I
Oh
dropped.
my God, man.
I didn't want to hit my head, so I
How the
covered my
fuck
head up
did you do
because if
that?
I would hit my
You
head,
just
I'd be
slipped?
dead.
You just slipped?
Yeah, I was
Jeez.
mad about something. I said, let me see it myself, and can't be doing that no more.
Oh my God, man. You're lucky you're alive.
Yeah, if I would have hit my head, it would have been a wrap.
Yeah, you could have died, bro.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely could have. The fall alone, I mean, when I made the first hit, I hit a column first, so I knew I was gonna
Oh,
move, and then I didn't realize that I was gonna land on this metal, the point of this metal box. So that broke the ribs and punctured the lung.
holy shit, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's always something, man.
Well, listen, I wish you a speedy recovery, man, and get some fucking rest, bro. That sounds ridiculous.
Yeah, thanks. That's why I wanted to hop on for a little while. I seen you guys were on where time I could catch this. I caught you the other night too. You were an hour.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. Definitely, it's always good having people on. It's chopping it up. We're just bullshitting, so I appreciate
No,
everybody.
I like it when people talk like-minded when they don't, when they call spade a spade, and that's what you were doing. Call spade a spade.
Yeah, and I like I don't even always want people that think like me or agree with me, whatever. I'd have a discussion with anybody as long as they're reasonable about it. I wish
That's
that
it.
a few
People
people
aren't
tried
reasonable.
coming up, but they couldn't connect their device for some reason. I don't know why.
Thanks, Ruben. Yeah, no, listen. There's people you can't talk to about this. They don't see the right way. They won't give.
Yeah, they're like the radical fucking Iranians over there. Fucking
Yeah, it's just too much.
seriously, man. That's what you're dealing with, bro. Think about it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're basically
And
dealing with fucking the Ayatollah over here.
and what you do is when you stick with that side, you got to change your opinion every week because their opinion changes every week. So
That's
Radical Democrats.
well. Listen, I'm gonna wrap her up. Smoke's
yeah,
coming
you
at
too.
11. I think I didn't know he was coming out. I got a notification, so we've been
Maybe we'll go
like
smoke
fucking
you for
3
a little
hours.
while.
Thanks, Common. Thanks, Rob.
All
Yeah,
right. Yeah, be
thank-
well, boys. I'll see
yeah.
you
Happy
later.
healing, brother.
I want to thank Scott. I want to thank Ruben. I want to thank Rob. Everybody for coming up tonight, hanging out. I don't think I missed anybody, right? Was that the three of us? Oh, it's Sean. I want to thank Sean. Sean stopped by for a little bit. Thank you, Sean. I want to thank everybody in the chat for showing up today, guys. Thank you guys very much. To the couple people that donated, thank you guys. I
We
appreciate
lost
you.
somebody.
If anybody else would like to help support the
I
channel,
think you
please
muted
do. I
yourself.
appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one. And go check out Gunsmoke.
Maybe you
It's coming
can't
on
hear
at
me.
11, guys. Hey, Rob,
If you
thanks a lot.
guys could hear me, have a good night. CS, thanks for having me on, brother.
Thank you, Rob. Take
I
care,
can't
man.
hear
Have a good one, bro.
nobody.
We'll talk soon. Later, guys.